Sorting it out.
Yep.
February,
All right.
good pink color for Valentine's Day. That's good.
Huh? Oh
On
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
yeah, on the title sequence.
Yeah, it's a pretty good looking thumbnail. Uh, I took a little too long on that thing. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
And then I was just looking at all the pictures, and I was like, I have to put this all together right now. But
yeah. It's like, why do you want to know what I've seen already?
I don't know.
But hey, it looks good, man. It's worth the time.
Hey, but welcome back to Street Talk, everybody. It's that time of the month, the beginning of the month. We're gonna go over all the movies we watched in February. Um, I'm excited we're doing this again. It was fun last time. I was in Ohio when we did that thing, but we're doing this thing again here, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, good to have you back in your setup. We had
Yeah,
I mean, obviously February is always gonna be the shortest month of the year, but trust me, it's not lacking in the amount of movies that at least I watched. And then us together. I mean, you're in for a good time if you're sticking around, wanting to hear what we've seen and what we think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
But you're not gonna have a good time on this first one. We watched Argyle.
Oh yeah,
You guys saw the review. Um, that's how we started the month. But I will say we ended the month on a good note, but we'll get to that later. But
yeah,
two polar opposites.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I gave Argyle a 2.5. Let me pull this thing up here. Just we're trying to get you guys involved out here. Let's do this here.
Whoa, are our faces closer now?
Huh? Bomb.
Ty, it looks weird on You got like
Oh, did they
watermarks
fix
and
it?
stuff.
Is there an update?
There
Ah,
must have been an
all right.
update, but it says like created by is it up here?
Riverside.
Yeah,
Oh
created by
gosh.
Riverside up to the top. So that might be an issue.
All right, it's all right. Um,
I have not seen the Argyle thing yet. Oh, it did pop up. Let's go. All right, it's working a little bit. Okay.
I'm sharing it for you so you can see it right here. But not a great movie. Bryce Dallas Howard was in it. I don't know how I just pulled that name out of my. Uh, but
Yeah, that was impressive
uh,
work.
she's.
We
We
don't have to
weren't
talk
fans of
about this
her.
one.
We weren't fans of her in Jurassic World or anything else like that. Yeah, you guys already know our thing right there. I just wanted to make sure my share screen worked. That was
Cool.
basically the move there. All right. Um, all right, Jake.
Oh, do
What
you
you
want me
watch
going?
next? Let's yeah get. What's your second movie here?
Well, mine's a little somber. I went back to the theater after Argyle, but this time I went and saw Zone of Interest, which is
Ooh yeah.
it was brutal, but it's one of those ones that you're happy you watched because it made you feel a certain way, but the certain way you feel isn't great because it's like it's depressing stuff, man. But
Yeah.
Zone of Interest is about basically the family that lives in the German quarters in Auschwitz. Um, and like the commandant of Auschwitz was the dad. He's like walking in and out, but like the cool thing about it is you never see any of the cruelty that's happening. It's all off camera, and it's only through screams. So this one got
Yeah.
nominated for best picture at the Oscars, and it got nominated for best sound, and I think another thing. But yeah, this one was really cool in the way that the sound design worked. You're hearing the screams over the fence, but you aren't obviously seeing it. There's some cool sequences with the like a night vision that was really well done.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, everything
Is it?
everything feels super modern. It makes it feel weird because it feels like the family is like could be an American family
I
in
mean,
terms of
we
like
we really are, Jake. Like only 80 years removed from like all that going on,
yeah,
um, which is crazy to think about. Like, I didn't see it, but like these families just living their lives like normal, and then in the backyard they got all this horrificness going on.
well, if you want to know a little bit
Definitely.
about the plot and why it's so weird, it's like this guy's trying to keep his job as the commandant of Auschwitz, like, and he's got to make improvements. So they're like getting these guys to walk in, and they're having a business meeting, and they got architects there, and they're scheming up a new thing that they're going to add to the the camp to hopefully improve its quality and its efficiency. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
scary stuff. It's just like, geez, they're talking about this so nonchalant. I was like, I don't know. But the story is is interesting, and then also, like I said, the sound aspect to this movie is like, it really lets you sit in it. And there's like a lot of black screens, and it like takes itself really serious, but obviously has a right to with its subject matter. So I liked it.
Yeah, and I know
I I'll rank it right
they
now if you want me
oh yeah, you can rank it real quick.
to. I didn't put any ranks on this. I wish I could just say just like you should watch it. Like that. That's what
Yeah,
I think.
you could NA rank this thing. You
Yeah.
don't need to rank it.
If you think
Um,
if you think you want to like I don't know get yourself cultured about history a little bit and have a different lens into the atrocities of World War II, I'd recommend this one. There you go.
and I know they filmed a lot of it. I was telling Jake about this. They filmed a lot of it with like cameras from far away, like kind of like almost like a documentary style. And then they didn't use any actual like lighting. Like they just used natural light
Yeah.
to make it feel like as real as possible. And I know it
Y-
was definitely like an eerie movie.
Yeah, I think I read something about or you said that they set up shop like the director set up shop on the other side of that wall where the Jewish people would have been working.
Yeah,
But they just had cameras set up in the house to try to like they didn't tell them there wasn't much script. I guess there was like a direction, but like most of it was just like pretty just like standard stuff. They're trying to get like the most natural reaction from those actors, and they did a great job.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Get used to this screen sharing stuff over here.
Yeah, it throws our heads in like a small corner, but hopefully
I kind of like it though.
people,
It,
yeah, people don't mind it.
it puts the focus
Chase
on the
suggests we
movie.
should start the stream with a little Wordle.
Oh baby,
Have you done
wait,
Wordle today?
dude, can you see the stream? I can't even see the chat right now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Everyone's here. All right, dude. I thought no one was being active. I was like, dang, this is
No,
kind
people
of.
are here.
All right,
People
let's
are
go.
here.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Eric? Yeah.
Sorry.
Chase.
All right, are we doing Wordle, or are we gonna move on to the
Yeah,
next?
no, we're going to the next. We're going to the next one.
Okay.
I do word
Next
every
time,
morning.
Chase, we'll get after that. Yeah, we'll save
Yeah.
it for streaming days.
Well, E might be mad
I have
about
not.
that. All right, next movie. Sorry,
Is
Jake,
that like
I'm,
a daily
trying to
thing
share
over there
screen
for
so
you?
we Yeah, it is. Hey, it's good. Hey, if you're in a long distance relationship, I recommend waking up, starting off with a little Wordle, then we work into the
Okay.
connections,
Okay.
and then you go to the daily mini. I mean, it's a really nice little
The
deal.
daily mini is a good operation.
Good time. Hey, we're
Okay.
getting the brain going in the morning. It's a good time, and
Good, man.
sometimes like today we got it in 3. I'm proud of us.
It's good
It's a
stuff,
teamwork
bro.
thing. It's a teamwork thing.
All right, let's get into the next one,
Um,
brother. You got it.
Absolutely. All right, I watched Full Metal Jacket, Kubrick film. Let me pull it up for everybody so we can see what we're working with. Sorry, y'all. All right, this is a little more complex than Zoom, so just give me like 2 seconds here.
I'm gonna try to pull up my own so I don't
Yeah,
have
that
to
would be
rely
awesome.
on you.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
I'm really trying to run the whole show right now.
Yep.
All right, next time, dude. Like maybe I'll have you pull mine up as I'm talking about it. That'll be good. But Full
Okay.
Metal Jacket, little Kubrick film. It's based on the Vietnam War. As you can see, Born to Kill. Juxtaposed with the peace symbol and the helmet right there. Oh baby, I'm using words. Membean gang. Please don't leave.
What
All
is
right.
that? What are you saying? Oh, the
Membean.
peace sign. But the peace sign you're talking about?
Born to
'Cause I was
Kill
trying
with
to
the
figure
peace
out what
sign. Yeah, there's a cool scene within this movie where a general gets mad at the main character, who actually is Eleven's dad in Stranger Things. If you've wondered what that guy's ever been in his career, he's the main character in Full Metal Jacket. But let me start off right here. We open this movie and we're in like training camp. So like we're with these soldiers and we're kind of getting put through training camp, and they got the classic like trope of the general being super hard on the guys, like not even letting them give a peep or a smile or anything like that. And they kind of like, it's similar to football. Like they kind of like weed out the guys that don't want to be there. And there's this one biggin, who actually plays Kingpin in Marvel. I would pull up a picture, but it'd take too much time. But he gets this by the end of the training, or I don't want to like ruin the movie for you guys, but he does like one of these classic Kubrick stares that you see in The Shining, where it's kind of like his brows, like it's kind of like
He leans forward and gives it a smile.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie, and the end sequence was really cool, and I felt really I was able to watch it on a decent sized screen in Ohio when I was dog sitting, so
Good.
it was a good time. I enjoyed this one. Even Chase walked in with his buddies while I was watching. I was like, yeah, it's a Vietnam movie. So definitely enjoyed this one. Jake, have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I saw this one. I liked it. I didn't think it was my favorite one. I prefer Paths of Glory of his over this one, as
Yeah.
one of my favorite Kubricks. But this one's like, I don't know. It does a great job depicting the training camp, as you said, and the sequence in the concrete jungle at the end is pretty sick. I just remember that being pretty. I don't know. It stuck with me for a while, just because it was like
Yeah.
really cool action sequence in my mind. But
And
yeah,
it talks there's a big word I learned from this one. We're just pulling all the words out for this one. I had to actually
have
write
to.
it down because I couldn't remember it. I'm gonna be honest. Like so many times I'd go to Google and like try to figure out what the word was again. Let me briefly find it real quick. All right, guys, this is a hell of a word. Write this one down. Throw it in the journal. Phenomenological. You ever heard that, Jake?
Phenomenological. Let me guess what it means.
All right, let's do it.
The phenomenological. Okay, got it. Uh, Thinking in a way
Let's break
that
it
is
down.
phenomenal. I don't know. I tried to break it down to a two.
It is actually, but it's the study of how we experience things firsthand, focusing on our perceptions and feelings about the world around us. So Kubrick loves to do this, and when he writes these characters, like he writes these stories, so we like go into this world with the character, and it really just goes like through the point of view of this main actor, the one actor I mentioned. Don't know his name, but
Are you saying it's like a character
Levin's
study?
dad. No, it's just like we really see like his point of view and like how uh like man reacts to certain situations. Like he's like kind of making jokes. Like he's got like the born to kill thing on his hat, and he's like, I'm going to war, like I'm a badass. But then when like the real thing like happens, like you're it like when you're in it, and like he's making fun of peace and all this stuff, like, and then he's really like in this thing in the trenches, stuff's blowing up, people are getting shot, like how do you react like as a person like in that situation?
Yeah.
And this deep dives into that, just like in The Shining, like it deep dives into like there is some like kind of weird.
Isolation. What
Yeah, yeah,
isolation does to someone?
yeah, isolation. This is like what war does to a person. um and it's a great movie, so I highly recommend that one. I had to
Cool.
pull that word out. uh yeah, phenomenological really just like makes you think about like the world around you, and your own relationships, and it really challenges the viewer to like look at their own lives, like in themselves, and like they're like, how would I react in that situation, like stuff like that. So thought that was cool. Thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, good flick. All right, Ty, you're gonna have to show me how to get that thing isolated.
You're gonna want to download the image and then
Pretty
pretty
easily.
easily double click
Okay.
on it in the download section, and then you're gonna full screen it on its own.
Mm,
You're gonna full screen it.
yeah. This is what the pod fod is. It's just a bunch of these. So maybe we
Yeah.
set this up beforehand next time.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the downloads on mine. So if you, Jake, you just go ahead and say it, and I have it already downloaded.
Okay, well I already did. Hold on.
I'll just keep doing it. It's okay.
I don't know why it's not
I know,
allowing
Jake.
me
It's
in the
it's
preview
confusing.
section. The preview thing, right?
Yeah, it's cool though.
All right.
What's the movie, Jake?
Well, so anyway, yeah. So I decided after getting a bit sad with Zone of Interest,
What?
I would
Oh.
no, I'd bring it to a happier place, back to my memories, back to like where when things were great, and Land Before Time.
Oh
It came
my
through strong.
lord.
Yeah. I was like, I need something wholesome that'll make me happy,
This
and
is outrageous out of you.
Littlefoot is dominant. He's
I haven't seen this since I was 7.
Yeah, so I was like really trying to lock in on my notes at the beginning, trying to see anything. I was noting down some really funny stuff in my notes on this, like trying to be like fucking I don't know.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
yeah, it was bad. But I was like, there's like commentary on like racial relations because the dinosaurs, some dinosaurs, if you don't look the same, then you don't mess with them. But then after like these two Dysonors get together and they like run away from a T-Rex. They bond a little
Dysonors.
bit, and then yeah, there's loss. It's like Bambi. They lose the mom, and then yeah, they're sticking together, squadding up, and trying to find home. It's yeah, this one's like a
So
classic.
can we
But
break down the plot real quick? Because my
did
7-year-old
just
brain,
then.
like,
I just
all
did.
right, yeah, okay.
All right, you want me to do it again? Ready? All
No,
right.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, dude, was the T-Rex as scary as we remember? Was that
Yeah, bro.
thing pretty ferocious?
Yeah, it
I
was.
remember that one, like the briar patch thing. It's like trying to get his like trying to
Yeah,
run
no,
through.
it was definitely coming at him. I mean, I was like fully invested for the first 25 minutes of this, and then I it fell into a big time lull, and I was like, I'm done me taking notes on this shit
Oh my
because it was bad. But Petrie is not as cool as I remember him, to be honest. It's pretty lame.
You
to be
liked
honest.
Petrie?
I didn't like Petrie, but it was fun to say his name, so I thought I liked
Hey, that
him.
little
But I just
green,
remembered his name.
the little green thing's pretty
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah, so like at the
Um,
beginning, Ty, the Earth starts to shift, and then literally on one platform and the other, the mom splits up from
Oh my
Little
god.
Rock, and then he like pulls up. I can't remember if like the mom was protecting from the T-Rex or not, but like eventually it was a Bambi moment where like
Oh,
Littlefoot pulls up on his mom like, "Wake up, bro!" And then no cigar. So it was. I mean, it's definitely a sad one. It wasn't as like as uplifting in the first few minutes that I was hoping for.
yeah.
You don't remember those parts, but God, I remember the end. They freaking did it, dude. I don't remember what they did, but they did it. They finished their mission. It was a
All
good one.
right.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
give it
I'm
a
proud of you for rewatching that. That
just
was
for nostalgia value. I'll give it a 3.5, 3 out of 5.
nice. Wait, I don't even think I scored Full Metal Jacket. Let me not a vet out here. 4.7.
Very nice.
Same score as Dune 2. For those who watched the Dune 2 spoiler stream. Go check that out. All right, Jake. Are you done with that one?
Yeah, that's all I got on that. That's all I got.
All right, cool. All right, on to mine. Jake, so this is another pretty thick movie right here. It's called Yi Yi.
Oh, I heard about this one.
Uh, I think it was shot in Taiwan. This is this director's like what they call magnum opus. So it's like a culmination of all of his movies. Like this is like his like big movie, just as like what's an
Send
example of
off.
magnum opus? Like
Stan,
2001: A Space Odyssey. Like I mean it's like their big movie. Their big
Quentin
movie.
Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Where they pieced it all together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Um yeah, let me go. It's been a long time since I watched this. This is like very early on in February, so uh the director's name is Edward Yang. Um all right, so the cool thing about this movie, we open with a wedding. So it's like celebration of getting married, like it's happiness, all this stuff. And then it closes with a funeral. So it's yeah, it's really encompassing everything. And within from the wedding to the funeral, there's a murder that takes place. There's a child that's born, and there's all these
Oh, yin
things that
yang.
happen. There's like not even a main character. There's probably five different main characters, or actually I think there's four. But there's like a young boy, a young daughter, and then a the dad. And I guess it's three. So we get to experience life through their eyes, like and how different things like as they come across you in life and how they affect you like at your age. So we deal with like matters of like love. So like the little boy is like sitting in like some auditorium, and this girl like walks in like as some scenes happening on the they're like watching a movie as a class, and like fireworks are going off like behind this girl. So like we get like young love, like experience love for the first time. And then like the dad is getting to a point where he like runs into a girl that he knew from like back in the day. So like he's like revisiting love. And then we have the young daughter who's like
So are you just gonna go over the plot, or are you gonna tell us
no, I was
like what you took from it? Like,
yeah, I mean what I was taking what the reason I went down this path, explaining it this way. We basically get like how different ages like react to like death, love, like birth, like different things in life. It's a really like melancholy movie. Like you gotta like really be like ready to watch this thing. It's probably around 3 hours long, and it definitely is like a magnum opus movie. Like it covers every topic imaginable, uh, over the span of like a week or something. And I enjoyed it. I scored it pretty high here. Let's see what I scored it here. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer it. Yeah, Jake. I didn't want to second guess myself here. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I definitely recommend this movie. It's gonna have you thinking about your own life and like your own experiences. And this is one of those movies which is really cool. You'll be able to watch, like you could watch it when you're young. I wouldn't recommend that as much, but you could watch it when you're like my age, and then you could watch it when you're older, and it would have like different meaning to you every time you watch it because you're in like the different person's shoes. So no matter what age you are, you have someone to like relate to the movie, which is it's a pretty cool thing.
yeah. So it sounds like it's in a category of you should watch it once in your lifetime at least, potentially.
You'll want to rewatch it. Like
You'd want to
I
rewatch
want to
it, but like
yeah,
you should watch this because it's cool
yeah.
perspective. Okay.
And the cool thing is, there's like there's a quote that I saw. It was like the the man who reads versus the man who doesn't read like lives like 300 more lives than the one
In
person
terms
who
of
doesn't read
wisdom
and
you
only
gain,
lives
yeah,
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like this
yeah.
is one of those movies you watch. You like you get so many life lessons. You learn like a
Boom.
lot, and like you gain a lot of different perspectives. And what I was telling Jake, like I love like learning about new cultures. So like this one's a foreign film. Be ready for that as well. It is foreign film. Uh, and I love learning about like other places. So that in combination with learning about like how different ages are affected by different things. So uh, definitely recommend it. That's all I'll say about that. And 5 out of 5 for me. So
Nice.
that's yee
I'm
yee.
excited to watch that one. Heard about it. I forgot about it, and I'll put it back on my list as a front runner to rewatch or watch for the first time.
Yeah. All right,
All right,
Jake.
Ty. I move it on to my next one.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got one of Alfred Hitchcock's finest, it's Rear Window. Um,
Yep.
I've mentioned Thomas Flight a few times. When he was doing his movies he watched in January, this was one of his ones that he had watched, and I was like, I need to watch this one because he gave it a pretty
Yeah,
good
dude.
review, and I was like,
Hell yeah.
I need to watch more Alfred Hitchcock movies. Which movies have I seen? We'll get into Psycho. I've watched that one as well, and then I got to see which one is the other one? Vertigo. I watched. That was my first Hitchcock film, and he's got an interesting. Like I think after seeing three of his movies, I can say that he's not afraid to switch up his style in terms of like his subject matter. Every movie is pretty different. Um, one's a thriller, one's horror, or I guess another one's a thriller, but it's just got a different kind of
Yeah.
way of doing it. We'll get into Rear
This
Window
one's
though.
very unique though.
Yeah,
Very
this one,
unique.
this one, uh, Jimmy Stewart. That was
Ah.
not his voice at all. But Jimmy Stewart,
Want the
he's
Moulin Mary.
no Ty. We did that last time. Don't do it again.
All right. All
Um,
right.
he broke his leg and he's bored and he's passing the time by looking out the window because there's nothing else to do. I guess in the 70s or whenever this was made, probably 60s. Yeah, so he's just looking across. There's a bunch of different people that are a bunch of different kind of personalities that are his neighbors. Finds one a bit suspicious, and we dive into that a little bit more as the story goes. Grace Kelly's his girlfriend in this, and yeah, I have like a tug and pull with like blondes as like being my type, and I don't know, but like, yeah, Grace Kelly, yeah, she was a good. I
All
enjoyed
right.
watching her on the screen.
All right.
But she's actually a great actor too. Like I like really liked their dynamic. I liked
Was she in
Jimmy
it
Stewart
that
and her.
much? It's been a couple years since I saw it.
Uh, most of
It's
it's
mostly Jimmy
about
looking
studying.
through
Yeah,
his
most of it's
binoculars.
studying, but she plays an important role in it to like have it worth talking about. And
All right.
I like thought their dynamic was interesting because like I mean I don't want to get into it too much because I want people to go watch it and have a good time with it. But no, they just have a fun relationship. It's like pretty captivating to watch.
Yeah.
Apparently the screenwriter had a similar relationship with his wife, and like they have like I don't know good quips and stuff. They got witty writing. I enjoyed that part, but the story obviously takes the cake. Um, Alfred Hitchcock, he's known for his suspense in movies and like really knowing how to implement that. There's moments where our main character looks away and he decides to show us something that he doesn't know, and that plays in the back of our minds a few times. And I think like knowing when to pull away the camera or show the audience something um, that the like our main character doesn't see is like a super
Yeah.
like you gotta take
It's good.
it takes a lot of time to figure that out. And this one obviously was written really well,
Yeah.
and it's one of my favorites of his that I've seen, and I've only seen three.
What's your
so.
rating on it?
Um, I'll give it like a. I didn't rate these. I'm more about like recommendations. I think
Yeah.
when it
All right.
comes to
Well,
I recommend watching this one if you're gonna watch Hitchcock movie and you want to have a good time. Just Not a lot of
Well,
dialogue, more about studying the scene and trying to pick up on clues. It's cool.
yeah, as much as Jake's talking about how it's like affects you as the audience member, it was really before its time. Like, you're not gonna watch another movie from this time period that's like as like this is like the cinematic like peak of like back in like the
Subjective.
50s, 60s. Like yeah, like we're doing tracking shots and like from distance. Like no movie was like this like when people were going to the theater back in the day, and like it took it it really like opened the world up to a lot of different films like in the future. Like we just saw this past year that one movie,
The Killer.
yeah, The Killer was really similar to that one.
Yeah.
And or there was some scenes really similar to that. But yeah,
Yeah,
nice
a lot
job,
of
Jake.
the camera is the eyes of Jimmy Stewart, so you're looking through his eyes. That's what I mean by you're looking at the same time as him, but then he'll look away and then he'll give us something
Yeah,
sometimes, depending on what he wants to do. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I was captivated by this one. So there you go.
awesome. And sad Pats fan 420. Our dad will be
So
in NCAA 25. We're pretty pumped about it, and we want to ask him some questions about it pretty soon. So look out for that.
did you read that right? He asked about our dog being in it, right?
Oh, Pop's dog. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna be on the cover.
yeah.
You heard it here first.
We'll start a petition. Everybody really liked that idea, but yeah, we'll have to hammer that one home. See what he can do.
Oh, maybe he'd be a mascot. Like maybe he'll be
Definitely a mascot
Dude, what if
matchup,
they-
alternate for
what if they
Ohio
put all
State or
the-
something.
all the little like dots on his face and like all the balls to like really get his all his animations down. That'd be
Well, since
electric.
we got that picture with him with Uga last year, they definitely should do when they like have Georgia playing and they show Uga on the sideline. Ben should be like
Mm.
kind of vibing next to him. That'd be a good touch.
I'd have to agree.
There you go.
All right, Jake. Here's my next one right here.
Yee
Bomb.
again. Oh, okay. Well, oh, okay.
Bomb.
Okay.
So, I feel like I revisit this one once a year, minimum.
Yeah, it's very, it's awesome. Yeah.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, among others. Julia Roberts. I mean, there's so many. This is a star-studded cast, if I've ever seen one, and I love a good heist movie. Uh, it just doesn't get much better, and the ending sequence with the fountains is iconic. I love it so much, and I just love how cocky Brad Pitt is in this thing. Always eating nuts and stuff, like
Oh yeah.
just throwing some peanuts in, and
Yeah.
yeah, you think we need one more? Yeah. That's what George.
What are you saying?
George Clooney's great too. He's like, you think we need one more? We need one more? He thinks we need one more. We'll get one more. That scene, Jake? You know that
I don't
scene.
remember the
Come on.
context for that, unfortunately.
They need one more guy, and it's Matt Damon.
Oh,
For the-
okay.
for the heist.
Yeah, Matty Damon's hilarious in this.
And the opening sequence is all
No, him
time
and
as
Brad's
well.
relationship's funny, actually. That's what I mean.
I love when he's in jail and they're like questioning him. We don't even see like the people who are talking to him. Like it's just on him, and he's got all the charisma. Like George Clooney's, this is his peak right here. And there is rumblings that there is a movie coming out potentially this year. It's called Foxes, and it's gonna have Brad Pitt and George Clooney in it, and I will be in the front row.
If that's
for that
real,
thing.
if that's real, I'm excited.
I know it when I was doing research for my most anticipated movies of 2024. Foxes popped up, and I had to throw it in the video, and it was one of my honorable mentions because I didn't know if it was actually coming out this year, but
And the subject matter, you had no clue. Yeah.
no,
But hey.
I just know. Well, I heard there was some kind of heist in it. Like they're trying to
Another
do something
heist?
again.
Okay.
Trying to do something.
Yeah,
robbed
George Clooney's
banks
a
or
heist
something.
master,
Yeah.
claymation, in-person real
Oh,
stuff. I
baby.
mean, like, we're talking
Yeah,
about...
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
He's good, dude.
He's so
He just
cool.
got
I
an
want to see him in
authoritative
some.
way about him.
What's the last movie he was in? George? Is he laying low?
He's been laying low for a while. Nothing memorable.
Yeah.
Like his characters from like these 90 movies. So good.
Yeah.
What do you rank
But
this one, Ty?
I gave it a little 4 or 5. 5 I reserved for like movies that like really move me emotionally and like make me like
This one's a good
inspired.
time.
This one's 4 or 5 is not a bad score at all, and it's a great time. So if you're not sure what to turn on, you're hanging out with the chick potentially. Throw on Ocean's 11. I mean it suits every crowd. I feel like you can't go wrong with this movie in any situation.
Yeah. I love that movie. All right, my next. I'm just gonna talk about this one quick because it's a TV show. And then we'll move to my next one in the same breath. But Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David is a all-time TV show. If you're just bored and you want to throw on a TV show, it's a comedy. It's similar to Seinfeld. Obviously, Larry had a hand in making that as well. But this is his TV show about him trying to make it in the business. They just released a new season this year.
Yeah.
Haven't particularly enjoyed the first episode, but I liked the second one. They're kind of hit or miss, but like the first one, like the first few seasons are like all-time classics. Like they pinpoint little moments similar to Seinfeld, like I said, in Larry's everyday life, and they got some funny phrases and stuff. Like I just enjoy it. They got a pretty good and stuff like that. But he's like flips. You do the flips. Or, like they just come up with the words and that like you're supposed to know, but nobody
How
fucking
long
knows.
is a chat and talk for you, Jake?
Huh?
A chat and talk, whatever it is, like a stop and chat. What was it?
I don't
Have you seen
remember.
the
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, the stop and
stop and
chat.
chat? Like minimum. He's like, it depends on the person, you know. Like
You're
if
talking
if
about
I
like
like
walking
him.
by somebody in the street and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
the
Stop and chat.
Yeah.
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 How long's your stop and chat, Jake? Average.
Average. Dude, I keep
Like
that to a
how?
minimum. I keep that to a 15-second range, I believe. It's
Yeah.
yeah, I'm quick. Cuz most of the time if I'm out, I'm going somewhere.
Yeah. This is a all-time show. Sadly,
Yeah.
one of the main actors passed away this past week,
Yeah.
which is very sad. But he was always super fun to watch on screen as well, and
Yeah.
one of our guy right here's best friends. So
Yep.
it's sad to see that. But glad you watched it this past month.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
good
I
good show
needed
right
a
there.
little laugh. I need to check out this new season. It's kind of hit or miss right now. Um, but
Yeah.
I'll give it another shot. But I want to move into my next movie quickly. Um,
Oh, you want to just go into yours?
yeah, I
then?
just want to go to mine because
Bomb.
yeah.
All right.
I went and saw I rewatched Gladiator, and this one's
Wait,
awesome.
did you put this on your list?
It was
Did I
on my
skip over that?
list. Might have probably skipped over it. Might have been on the wrong side of the tab when I was scrolling and screenshotting. So, but I did watch Gladiator. I'm sorry, Ty. Um,
Let me try
I
to pull it
mean,
up. Potentially.
if you haven't heard of this story, you got to go watch it. It's Russell Crowe in his prime. There's a Gladiator 2 coming out this year, I believe. So, why not get a little
Yep.
prepped for it? Um,
Oh, that's good.
forgot
That's
how
a good idea.
yeah, I forgot how good this movie was. Like it's like everybody likes it, so like you gotta kind of feel like oh maybe it's like a like a cult classic. Like everybody just vibes with it because they said that they like it, so I like it too. Nah, this one hits on the emotional levels and
Let's go.
and also the action levels, and you just like I don't know. Russell Crowe plays a great character in this, and he's pretty dominant. He he's sticking up to the man, and everybody can feel that. It's a cool thing,
Hey,
and
that was Clay Travis's favorite movie when he joined us. Uh,
picked a good one. That is a good callback out of you.
um, Jake, who's playing the Gladiator in the new one? Do you know?
Nope. No clue.
All right, you
Let's
should
see.
do your research, dog.
I
Sorry,
mean,
dog.
I just threw that out there because I just remembered.
Yeah, it's okay. Um, what are we
Paul
ranking this
Mescal.
thing? I know you didn't rank any of it. Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Denzel Washington's in it.
Oh, that
Pedro
was in my
Pascal's in there.
that was in my
Barry
anticipated
Kogan's in it.
movies. Yeah. That was in my anticipated.
Yeah, bro. So
Um,
yeah, that's gonna be sick.
all right, all right. It's gonna
I
be
give
cool.
this one a. Uh,
Ah,
do I give it a 5? I think so. Yeah.
we're
I give
giving
it
it
a
a
5 out of
5.
5.
All right. At a kid, we don't get
Good
5s
5
out of
out of
Jake.
5.
That's it's a big deal, guys. Go check out Gladiator if you haven't, please.
Yeah.
It'd
Damn,
be
it's good.
surprising if you haven't.
It's
But
depressing as hell though at some points.
yeah. You got another one depressing one coming up pretty soon here, but we're gonna hop into something fun real quick. All right, here I'm gonna pull it
I
up.
put myself through the ringer this month, bro.
Jake really did. Jake did it to himself. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this?
Let's go, Eric. Eric's on my level.
Well, yeah, I know. Eric loves it. Eric's got he's got a good taste, you know. All right. See that? You see that thing?
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know which way. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the third of the trilogy, Steven Spielberg's finest. I don't know if it's better than Raiders of the Lost Ark, in my opinion, but it's a very close. I would say for a long time that this was better, but upon rewatch of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's so many iconic scenes in that one. This one I didn't remember like all the action scenes like if you see like on that picture there with like the plane on horseback, like I forgot about some of these scenes that happened like within this movie. But you got Sean Connery in it. He used to play James Bond back in the day, and I love their like going back and forth throughout this movie. And Last Crusade's a good one, man. And it's the last Indiana Jones that really hit different, in my opinion. I mean, we got the Crystal Skull and the Dial of Destiny that came out within the past few years, but this is where that kind of magic for Indiana Jones like exists right here. This is where it kind of came to a halt. But if you haven't seen it, like if you only seen like my dad had only seen like parts of this one, and I was like, "What? You've only seen parts?" So we threw it on. I got a little rewatch in.
You saw it
which
with
was
him?
great. Yeah, dad was like, "I've never." He's like, "I don't think I've seen that one," and I was like, "You kidding me?" Because I guess Temple of Doom like kind of got him like
Scared off of the
made him not
sequels?
want to watch. Yeah, made him not
That's
gonna
fair.
want to watch the other one. Which if that happened to you, go check out the Last Crusade because you won't be disappointed. Um, it's just they're looking for the. I'm gonna spoil it here for you guys, but it happens very early on. And very early on, it's the cup of Christ, so it's like the one he drank at the Last Supper, which
The Holy Grail.
within this movie, yeah, gives you the it's like eternal life if you sip from it, and it's quite an adventure. We're going through Germany at some points. We even like see Hitler briefly, like with Indy on screen, like which is pretty hilarious. But go check this one out, guys. It's a good watch. And
Yeah, that's
X
one of
marks the
my
spot.
favorites.
Right.
I hated that part a lot. But I think
Why?
it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be comedically, like corny.
No, it was. It was. It would have been funny on screen. Like if you're watching it in the theater, like rewatching it,
Yeah.
you know it's coming. But
Yeah.
Last Crusade, 5 out of 5 for me as well. So another 5 out of 5 back to back.
It's hard to beat a
Magic.
comedy action combo.
Yeah, with Harrison Ford in it and Steven Spielberg
in
and
his
John
prime.
Williams. like all
Yeah,
like
it's-
shoulder to shoulder.
Everything's
me?
working together pretty well.
That's yeah, I'm thinking so.
All right, I'm glad you watched that Hollywood classic because I got a little niche one, or niche, or whatever you
Niche,
say.
niche.
Who knows? Come and see. It's Letterbox. Like, oh, you gotta see it, Letterbox. Like, um, yeah, man, it was sad. Uh, I described it as the midsummer of a war, like a war movie. That's like midsummer-esque. If you've seen Midsummer, it's by the same people that made Hereditary. It's a very off-putting horror movie, and this is an
But
off-putting
this
war
is
movie.
Russian, correct?
Yeah, I'm getting into
Russian?
it. Yeah, it is
Alright.
Russian. This is World War II. I love World War II, so we're watching a lot of World War II. World War II. This is I guess, a Russian front. A little village in Russia is the scope of this film, and this little kid ready to go to war, just like every other war movie
Is this
starts
a
off,
dude
like
or
ready
a
to
chick?
fight. It's a guy. It's a little kid.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
He's ready to fight
Kinda
for his
looks like
country.
11, a little bit.
Yeah, I know. You can't really tell by the end, or you get to tell by the end. Well, I don't want to. I mean, it's on the title screen. So yeah, as you can see, he gets aged by war pretty quickly, by the end of it, which is a cool thing. That little transformation. Um, Come and see, man. There's some moments in here where you're like, damn, this is depressing as hell. But at the same time, you're like, damn, but this looks really cool. Like, I was like, these special effects feel real. Like, I feel like this is like what probably
I'm gonna have to
happened.
watch this one.
Yeah. So, and it's shot in 4:3, which is like that cool cinematic, like old-fashioned
Square.
Charlie Chaplin style. Yeah. There's some sweet fog. They must have like waited some days to get the right amount of fog to pull up on this field, and like there's some great cinematic elements. You're gonna hate the Germans after you watch this. You're gonna be like, I don't like these guys a lot because
Actually, so
yeah, and they really kind of pin that home. There's like a sequence there where you feel like they're gonna cut away, and then they're like, "Nah, fam, we're gonna be here for another 15." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm staring at this for a long time." Not anything horrific, but it's kind of like it's just like something bad's happening. Obviously, you can't see all the bad stuff that's happening, but it's still depressing.
I gotta say, Jake, this is one of the coolest posters, like for a movie.
Yeah, so this isn't the original poster, but this definitely looks cool. This was made in 1985, and I don't feel like it was made in 1985. I feel like it was made like
Back
in the
in the
last
day?
20 years. Like
Oh,
no,
okay.
it feels
Like it was
it
really
feels
great.
Like yeah, like I'm like, God, these
Kind
guys
of
like
similar to like 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's like shot in the 60s, and you're like, how is this?
well, not so much because the subject matter, but more for like
Yeah, yeah.
how
But
good
it's
the
still,
visual
like, it
effects
looks
were and
good.
how well everything flowed. And I was like, I don't know, man. It was powerful. I was really sad after I watched this one, but I was happy I did just because it felt like an important movie again, I guess. I like
Like,
war
really-
movies.
Really moving.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like some
Um,
weird moments where it feels dreamlike though, and you're like, what the hell is happening? But
Mm.
then they lock it back in a little bit. I was like, this one's going for more of like an emotional, psychological like
Yeah,
point
I like
of
those,
making
though.
something as opposed to like story driven all the time.
that's cool.
By the end, it's more story driven, but like they're really trying to like you feeling that emotion? Let me give you like a little bit more. How you feel now? And then it's like that's most of it. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4.6 out of 5 just because I was like, dang, that was actually impressive. But
Yeah.
definitely sad.
All right, Jake. Proud of
Okay.
you for watching that.
That was the end of the war.
That's,
Yeah, having watched that was on what day? I watched February 8th, and then February 2nd I watched Zone of Interest. So that was like within 1 week I watched 2 very sad, depressing war movies, and I was like, okay,
Well,
I
I'm
need to-
curious to
need
see
to
what
stop.
you watch next. Briefly after that.
yeah, yeah, you'll see.
All right. On to mine. This one's gonna probably be on a lot of people's board for this month. Um, Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, gentlemen and ladies. Uh, Here we go. All right, Dune. I watched the original Dune, as did Jake, in preparation for Dune 2, which came out a couple days ago. And I enjoyed it upon rewatch. I actually felt like I picked up a lot more than I did the first time I watched it in the theater. This one I hadn't rewatched since I did see it in the theater. It's been like a couple years, so uh, I definitely feel like I understood the characters a lot better. I understood the houses a lot better. There is a lot of politics and like people in power, different tribes. There's the Bene Gesserit, the witches, like all kinds of stuff going on. So it is pretty like overwhelming initially, especially like when I watched this movie for the first time. I had no idea what Dune was. Like I hadn't read the books, I hadn't seen the old movies, so I really went into it blind. And I enjoyed it when I watched it. Like I, uh, I feel like I definitely picked up a lot more on my second rewatch though, and I gave it a 4.6. I'm just going to give the rating off the bat here. Um, Timothy Chalamet's uh, more of like a young prince in this movie. And then as you get to the end of this one, that's when he kind of begins his journey that we pick up with in the one that just came out recently. Um, but you're introduced to like all the lore in this one, and then the second one hammers it home, which we'll get into later. We already have talked about that one a lot, but we'll talk about it again.
Yeah,
Jake, what
great
do you think about
setup.
the rewatch?
I thought it was way more easy to digest after like seeing it once. You can really kind of focus on what you want to, what you missed out on last time, and I thought this movie after your second watch did a good job, like recounting or just like kind of getting everybody up to speed on what the hell's happening in this world, and
Yeah,
it was a great setup for the second movie. Thankfully, we watched it again like pretty close to the next time because the cliffhanger on the first one is pretty brutal. Um, but I liked everything that happened. Like it's visually appealing. It's sounds good. Um, and yeah, I
I
thought
mean
it was a
Hans
good movie.
Zimmer was getting pretty active
Yeah,
in this one. That's really where we heard the score for this one for the first time. And I just want to say, Jason Momoa is in this one, and this is probably his best job acting like in any movie he's ever done, in my opinion. Like he like really takes this character uh, like in his own, and
I
he's a
believed him in that
badass in
role.
battle. Like, dude, like I feel like every other role he's like kind of the silly, goofy guy. Like he was actually like
He was
a
silly in
great.
this too, but like
No,
when
I
he
mean
needed to be,
he was silly, but he was like an older brother kind of
yeah,
character.
showed
Uh,
range. You cared
yeah,
about his character. They did a good job making you care about that guy.
yeah, dude. I just wanted to point that out because upon rewatch, I was like, wait, Jason Momoa was really good in this because I don't think he was really on the radar yet at that point, like as much. Like he might have played Aquaman, but like when this thing came out, I can't remember if he was like doing all the things he was doing. Like he was in that like Fast and Furious movie that came out, and he was playing this like weird bad guy who like licked blood off his knife after he I mean like he just kind of is. I feel like he's got to hone it back in a little bit, but this role definitely good. He needs to work with Denny again because Denny. I feel like he
Set
has
him
a
up
lot of
for
actors like
success.
yeah, like even Dave Bautista came out and said like Denny came up to him and told him like he was a great actor, like just act or something. And like he's like no one ever told me like I was a great actor. Like that was like the most empowering like thing. So Denny's been getting a lot of praise over the past few weeks, rightfully so. And I think I was gonna wait to say this until we talked about Dune 2, but I feel like he's really solidified himself as a great director, and that like auteur status, like he's like right up there with like Christopher Nolan now after this new Dune 2, in my opinion. Like if he drops something, I'm gonna go see it.
I felt like I was already that way about his movies, but yeah, this solidified it for sure in a lot of people's minds, especially at this point when this movie is so fresh off
The,
release.
yeah, the Dune 2, like really put him over the edge, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
All right, I'm going to we ranking that one. I gave it like a four. It's like a in the 4.5 to 5 range. Like it's like a good movie that you should watch.
yeah.
All right, Sting. I watched Sting next. This is Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Those guys are like a duo. I think this. I don't know when this movie came out. Let me see. I'm curious.
All right, I'm pulling it up so everyone can get a gander here. Yeah, I haven't seen this one, Jake. So
Yeah, let me
excited to
get
hear
into
about
it.
it. 7 Academy Awards, including
1973.
Best Picture. Yeah, 73. It's on there.
Okay. Yeah, dude. This. So like,
Cool.
I just want to say, straight up, the plot was sick. Like, I loved everything about it. You got a con man. It touched me because I am big Better Call Saul guy, and I love con jobs, watching them unfold. Um, the two actors, Paul Newman, Robert Redford, great chemistry. They're fun to watch on screen. They're believable characters. Robert Redford's got a hell of a stride on him. He's running a lot in this movie, and he's got great form. I was like,
Good
I got to
form.
see it.
That's
Yeah, the guys. I was like, I got to see what this
that's
guy played
important.
in high school, because like this guy
That's
definitely
funny.
an athlete. Anywho, um, I hated the score. I think the score
Really?
really shit this
Took
movie
away.
down the drain for me. Like it could have been like it was like everything was great. Like you know how like there's probably a reason. Like there's probably some significant reason or like pay homage to a guy. This it was like the thing was like a little piano in a saloon. Like it sounded like did it did it did it and it'd play every time there's like a card slide. Like this thing was like broken up into chapters and like every time it changed the chapter they'd get on that freaking piano and start playing this lame ass
Mm.
tune. And I was like, bro, if you took that part out and just kept the good parts and just let it just come together, like it would
Yeah.
be my one of my favorite movies. And that really took me out. I hated hearing it.
Dude, that sucks. Cause
I know.
like the
You'll have to
score's
watch
supposed
it
to
and hear
like
for
add
yourself.
to it. The score's
Yeah,
supposed
it
to
took it
add to the
out for
movie.
me.
Dang,
Took it out for me, bro. But like
that's
the
rough.
yeah, bro. I
But
actually
you said Redford's like probably one of his best roles, like you've seen him in. Like, would you say better than Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid?
I mean,
I
we
mean,
can't compare. That's
that's
hard to compare, but it's got Robert Redford in the main role. Like he is the main character of this movie.
yeah.
Um, I think that the screenplay for this movie is like one of my favorites I've seen
Oh
because it
wow.
takes a
Okay.
lot of time. It takes because there's a lot of like pieces to it. One thing you're gonna like Ty too. Another actor, Jaws, the boat captain.
Mm,
He's in this one as like a serious character, and I liked that. I thought he was
that's good
cool. It was
stuff.
cool to see him on there.
Let's
He
go,
plays
dude.
a
I'm
good mean
wondering who
guy.
else he is in. All right,
Yeah, bro.
awesome.
No, you should. I'm guessing his name's Robert Shaw since it's
How,
on the fucking
Jake?
front part.
How are we hearing about this movie? Like, what made you? What inspired you to turn this on? Like, were you like, what's Robert Redford in, or like, did you see a recommendation
A
on
little
like
bit of
TikTok
that.
or?
I I honestly looked up Robert Redford and Paul Newman movies, and I think this is one of the options. I think also this one has a pretty high IMDb ranking, and I've like seen it a few times, and I was like, I need to switch it up and watch a Robert Redford movie or
Yeah.
something. So
Hey,
this
Paul
one
Newman
delivered.
too, dude. Paul Newman's
He's
badass.
great in this.
Like
He's great.
his
in this.
eyes, dude. He is like all time bluest
Yeah,
eyes
he's
of all
got
time.
the craziest blue
Yeah,
eyes, dude. I know. I literally that made me look up. I was like, why are people's eyes so blue? Because I just came off Rear
It was
Window.
him, bro. He's an
Well, I came
anomaly.
off Rear Window, and Jimmy Stewart's eyes are hella blue too. And
Yeah,
then
well,
Sting,
that's yeah.
Paul Newman. I was like, was it the film that they used? I think actually there's some kind
These
of
guys are anomalies.
no. Okay, they have blue eyes for sure. They have everything they need to be an
Yeah,
actor for
that's
sure.
cool.
But I think there's a part of it with like the color grading afterward.
I mean,
Um,
we should pull that film out. That would be pretty electric.
Yeah, it would be cool. But I liked this movie a lot. Coulda trashed the score. I would have liked it better if it didn't have any music.
Mm,
There we go.
good stuff.
Boom.
All right, Jake. This next movie, I'm probably the most excited to talk about so far, which is pretty exciting.
Let's go.
Let me pull it up here. Give me 2 seconds.
What's going on with my hair?
So I really had to dive in. All right.
Hot.
Thank y'all for being here. By the way, this is fun. All right, Jake. Here we go. You ready? I'm gonna share my
What'd you
screen. Boom, 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 boom. I told Jake to watch this one. The Thing.
Oh, I have it set up as my next movie as well.
All right,
perfect.
Jake. Then we're gonna break this thing down real quick.
Did you actually
John
watch it at the same
Carpenter.
time as me? The fuck?
I told you to watch it before,
Oh,
or,
okay,
or I told you I watched it, and then you said you watched it like at the same time or something. Some twin shit happens every once in a
yeah,
while.
sometimes it happens.
But this is John Carpenter, who he directed Halloween. So he's known for the horrors, and I've always wanted, like, I've seen this poster so many times. Like, I'm glad we're showing this poster. I always thought it was like an astronaut or something. It's funny when you look at these posters and you have like no idea what it is, like, and then you like
I-
go in and watch the movie and like you understand.
I thought
like, what
the
it
thing
actually
was
is.
the same as the Blob. Like I thought
Yeah,
the
me
thing
too.
was the same as the Blob. I thought it was gonna be a pink blob.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
was ready
I think
for.
there was like the thing
There is
for
a
like
thing.
Goosebumps when we were younger.
That's what
Um,
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what did it.
So but this is a sci-fi horror movie, which is electric. But it rather than like a horror movie, it's also like a psychological thriller. And it's got
Kurt Russell. Oh, baby,
Kurt
he's
Russell.
So sick.
Thank
man.
you, thank you. And Kurt Russell's the main guy in this thing, and we kind of go in, and we are based in Antarctica, so like they're the only people like based out, like they're like scientists for America. And I'm just giving you guys the premise here. I'm not gonna like get into any spoilers, but can we talk about the opening sequence with the dog?
Yeah, sure. So it opens up. First of all, I love the choice of the score in this one as a big 180. They pick, I mean, like John Carpenter's movies are known for their scores, it seems like. It's just one little bass note the whole time. It's just like dum, dum, dum.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
sick
good.
and it
It's
just
a
builds
good
the
score.
tension. We open up with a helicopter chasing after a husky seemingly through the middle of Antarctica, and we're like,
Yeah,
what is
like-
happening right now? Okay, we're
They're
trying
like
to figure it out.
shooting at it.
And yeah, basically this dog just seems like he's running nowhere, but then he pulls up on the U.S. camp, and that helicopter comes in. Turns out we find out those guys are Swedish or Norwegian or whatever, and I mean a cute little tidbit. No, I don't even know if I want to say that. But if they don't have subtitles, but if you translated what they said, you get an idea of what's might be happening in the future of this movie. But they don't add subtitles in,
That's
which I
good.
thought was a super cool
That is cool.
implementation there.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? This guy was trying to shoot this dog.
Yeah,
And then I'll take over the storytelling here.
Sure.
They took the dog into the camp, and they're like, that was like really weird. Like, we got to see, like, they get in the helicopter and they go like kind of check out the area. Next thing they know,
they check on the Norwegian company that's near
Yeah, yeah,
them
yeah.
because they know that they're camped
Yeah, they're
nearby.
like those guys are a couple clicks north, like, and then they go to their camp, completely burned down, like nothing left, and that's where we're gonna leave you off right there. Um, just know there is some alien implications, which is awesome. That like inspired me to want to watch this. Like I thought it was just like um, kind of be like Jake said, like the Blob, like some kind of dumb horror movie. But this thing kept popping up. Like I kept seeing like best horror film, like The Thing, and I was like, I need to watch this thing. And then Kurt Russell did he did a YouTube video where he broke down his most iconic characters, and he got to The Thing, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch what he says. I'm gonna go watch this movie, and that's what I did, and did not disappoint. This is probably I'd put it as my favorite horror movie of all time, just because like I'm not like a horror guy, and
But
like
you could do
if
this.
you if we're talking psychological, I 100% could do this. Like sign me up for more of these kinds of
Yeah.
movies, 100%.
Oh, dude, when the opening, like, you talk about like something that draws you in and get like a hook, gets you excited about a movie. That whole 10-minute sequence of the ambiguity of the dog and the helicopter, and then them going to
Yeah,
that place and then finding these dead bodies and everything burned down. Like, I was so pumped.
yeah,
I had those like chills. There's
yeah,
like some movies that give you chills, and I was like, dude, let's freaking go.
yeah.
Like
You're like you're
I
in
was
for a
pumped.
good story because like shit's gonna go down. Like whatever happened there is about to happen at their place,
Yeah,
and
because
you're like wondering how it's gonna happen.
yeah, Kurt Russell and the other guy that went over there with him, they're like standing over this block that seemingly looks like something broke out of it, and that's yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I was like, all right, I'm
Oh
in.
my.
I'm I'm ready. Let's
Yeah,
get back to camp.
let's
Let's see
go.
what the hell is going on.
And then we won't
I'm
talk
pumped.
about the ending, but I will say it is like it does have a lot of ambiguity, and there's a lot of
We
like
love that word. It's a good word.
discussion of like whether one thing happened, the other thing happened. So
Yeah,
um, I think we should
debates
do a review on this movie, like on the channel potentially. Um,
like a
but yeah,
spoiler review, or hopefully people have seen it by now because it's been out for a while, but we hadn't
I
seen it.
know, but
So
I didn't seen it. Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna give you guys time to go watch this thing. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed.
give us your opinions on what you think is the ending. Like, what do we think? What do we think? You know the question. What do you think? There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Jimmy White. Hey guys, saw Aaron yesterday. We'll report back on Dune 2 and The Thing coming soon. Cousin Jimmy. Shout
All
out
right.
Cousin Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, I need to watch the Dr. Zhivago. I was going to turn it on and then I looked at my clock and it was like 1 a.m., 12 a.m. So I wanted to watch it, but it will definitely 100% be in the next um, iteration of this in March.
Hell yeah.
So don't you worry. That one's on the board. All right, Jake. Do you have one you want to talk about next?
Yeah. Let's get out of the way. Let's get these out of the way.
Get it
So
out of the way. I don't even want to
I just
pop
want to
anything up.
address the situation. Yeah, we don't have to pop
Yeah.
anything up. I uh I was talking to my neighbors. They enjoy horror movies. They enjoy movies. I was like, I just watched The Thing. Let's go on a bender. Let's watch another great one. You got another good one for me? And I was like,
This is the
and they're
horror
like, yeah.
that I don't
Let's.
that
What do
I
you want to
don't mess
watch?
with.
And I was like, you know what? Why don't we watch something with like a killer bad guy? Like, you have a good one for me? He's like, oh yeah, got the best one. Well, first we got to watch the prequel. It's called All Hallows Eve. Don't watch it. Um, it was very disturbing, and it was. Well, I might as well say kind of what's going on. There's like, you know how we talk about like Black Mirror, having like multiple different stories, and they all are like different. This movie within the movie, there's like four different stories that happen, and they're all just like super poorly acted and like strange, and they just try to make you feel the type of way. I did not like it. And then he's like, "You like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it was all right." I was like, "Definitely like pretty pretty crazy stuff. He's like, you want to watch the next one now? Like this is the one that like we watched that one for, so we gotta watch this one. It's like okay. We watched The Terrifier, and it was the most uncomfortable. This is my first time at this guy's house, and it was like one of the most uncomfortable movies to watch with other people. So wouldn't recommend that one because it's just off-putting and like strange. I don't know how this director can live with himself, to be honest, because he made both these movies, and seemingly it seems like Terrifier 4 is coming out, I guess, this year. So this guy is really locked in on this, and we got to keep this guy on the Black Watch. Like, make sure this guy is, you know, I'm curious about this guy's search history, to be honest. It's very uncomfortable.
Let me just say
Don't
something.
recommend it. Zero out of 10, 0 out of 5s for both those.
I was putting this the thumbnail together, so I asked Jake to send me his movies he watched for this month, so I could throw some of them on there. And I was like, all right, yeah, we got this. Oh, you watched that one, and then I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Like, what?
Oh, not to mention it was on Valentine's Day. It was good.
And there was like 2 of them back to back, and I was like, I was gonna text Jake. I was like, Are you okay? Like,
bro,
what are we watching? And then I remember Jake called me after he watched it. He's like, never watch these movies. Like, he like made sure, like, that I didn't fall into the same trap.
Oh, and me and the neighbors are still cool, but like I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a while till I trust them enough to go back over there. Yeah, it was a terrible session. I thought it was Valentine's Day. I thought we were gonna. I mean, I was like, hey, it's nice of these guys to let me spend time with them on like their Valentine's night. They wanted to fucking hang with me and watch a movie, and then we watched those, and I was like, okay, well, something's wrong here. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Both thumbs down for those. Okay, boom.
Two thumbs down. Thumbs down. All right. Do you want to talk about an actual movie? No.
Oh, I'd love
Your
to.
next one.
All right, this was a recommendation from my friend Mallory. This is called Run Lola Run. It's a German film. It is so cool, actually. I was impressed with her. She recommended a pretty good one. This one was like I don't know.
Hair on here. Are you guys gonna see briefly?
Red hair on the girl. Cool premise. Plays with time. Plays with alternate realities. Plays with like different people's futures. Like, so basically, this girl has like 10 minutes to get $500,000 to her boyfriend, or the mom's gonna kill him. And so that's like the plot. And then I will let you watch the rest, but there's some really cool sequences. It's all about time. Great score. It has like cartoon in it. Like it plays into a bunch of different like. It feels like Everything Everywhere All at Once at some point. Like it's got like it's in conversation with that, as Thomas Flight likes to say. It's kind of cool to say that.
What's on her stomach there? What do we?
That's a tattoo.
What's going on?
That is a tattoo. But this one was cool in German, so be ready for that. But cool premise, good idea.
Film. This is electric.
Yeah, this is a big deal, Ty. This is a big deal. And it's only like a minute.
Oh baby.
It's only like an hour 30. It's very like regimented. Very regimented.
Run, Lola, run.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. I recommend watching this.
I like when Jake says he likes a movie.
I might do thumbs up.
It makes me happy. Me happy.
That's why I say I hate some, because I need you to know.
That's good.
If I'm saying it's good.
All right. I'm proud of you.
Okay.
All right, this one.
Proud of you.
This next one here. I did not watch the whole movie because it was just on cable. I was on a trip with my dad, and we were up in the hotel room, and this movie was on the TV. So our eyes immediately got stuck on there, and we.
I remember this one now.
We were pumped about it.
Everybody was kung fu fighting, right?
No. Nope.
Maybe that was me and Dad actually. We were in a hotel together, and we turned on the TV, and Kung Fu Panda 1 was playing. I was like, this movie is so good. Shout
Sorry,
out Kung
guys,
Fu
I'm gonna have
Panda
this
4 is coming
figured
out
so
on
it's more
Friday.
efficient. I know I'm gonna be there, 100%.
Thursday, maybe, right?
This was the one that I watched, and I actually talked about it recently.
Yeah,
Rambo First
you're
Blood.
all in some comparisons.
This is Stallone's I mean, he's got a lot of great ones. Rocky's the best.
Sure.
This one's really close. Rambo First Blood. I mean, I talked about it when I talked about Jurassic Park, in the sense that when you think of Rambo, you think of a guy who's just going in like killing people like the coolest possible way. But this movie really focuses on like his character more than just like the action, and it focuses on like being a veteran and like how PTSD affects him. Um, so I only caught glimpses of this movie. Like we just got like the back half when like the guys told him to like leave town. Like at the beginning, we kind of missed that part where he's getting like in jail and he's getting the flashbacks and all that stuff. I just remember those sequences. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it all the way through, but we did stumble upon the part where he was killing people in a very cool way. Like kind of, he's like a Vietnam vet. He's setting up traps in the woods. People are walking across, trying to find him, and he's kicking their ass, and it's so cool. And I gotta say, the bad guy in this movie, I'd say he's all time bad, like an all time bad guy.
Is it
I
the
don't know if
dad
that's
in
a hot
Tommy
take.
Boy?
Holy hell! Did you just? I think it. I think you're
I'm
right,
pretty sure.
dude.
Yeah, I know I am.
That's what it.
It's-
He looks so familiar.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Okay.
No, I love this
dude,
movie too, dude.
so good.
Like everybody thinks it's like like obviously this one eventually makes it to Vietnam, but like when I think about Rambo, like somebody talking about Rambo, it's like foreign. Like this one is like set in like a town in the US. Like I think that's a cool idea
Yeah.
for like a war vet. And this guy's obviously a weapon and
Keep moving, huh?
yeah, I just like the way this one unfolds and like how they get in this scenario and then he puts him down. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, you were
Like-
right about you didn't see many, but you saw a lot of bangers. You got some good movies. This
I
month.
absolutely yeah. So, but the thing that I brought up in my Jurassic Park review was that like these movies have kind of turned into. I think Last Blood was actually good. I don't know if you saw that one. I saw it in the theater with the team before a football game, which is awesome. Like everyone
Is
was
that the
like,
one
oh.
well, it's
He's, like, in
probably
a
fun with
barn.
a good audience.
He's
Yeah.
in a barn, and like I think his daughter gets captured in that one, so it's like got a little bit of the taken aspects in it. But Rambo and like movies that try to be like Rambo, they really like just do the action. But the one that made like the reason this one's so special is because it really focused on the character and it builds out the world, and you really feel like this is a real guy, and it's not like too absurd. Just like Christopher Nolan, like I don't know if you've seen him in these interviews, Jake. He really likes Fast and Furious, and he especially likes like Tokyo Drift, which is like when these movies
Is that a
were like
Fast and
actually.
Furious?
Yeah. It's when these movies were actually like films back in the day, and then he's like, that's when like before the mythology started for Fast
I'm
and
sure the
Furious. So, like,
originals are actually good if I watch
can I?
them.
I know they are good. That's what I'm trying to say. The mythology started in these like movies with like Vin Diesel in it, but like if you go watch these like original ones, it's like they're like real films. They actually have like characters because like people didn't know what Fast and Furious was before Fast and Furious. Like they had to like create this world,
Yeah.
and like draw people in, and that's what this thing does great. And it created a great franchise, and yeah, it definitely inspired a lot of action movies over the years, like Die Hard and stuff like that. 100%. Yeah, Jake, you wanna go next? Oh wait, rating. I don't even know if I can rate it because I didn't watch all of it, but I gave it a 4.5.
As it should be. I like that. All right,
Jake.
I'm moving
what the
on.
hell?
What's
Been
up?
hanging around chicks too much.
What?
Nothing. You're like, as you should.
No, it was more of like a as you should be,
All right, good.
as it should
All right,
be,
good.
like a British.
All right,
Like
good.
we're talking real fine over here,
That
mate.
makes me feel better because I thought
No,
you
as you should, girl. No, wasn't
were.
that?
Nope.
Calm
I
down.
thought you were. All right, clip that. Send that to me, guys. Thank you.
Chase.
Eric,
I
send that.
swear to
Eric,
God. Chase.
Eric, send that to me.
Don't.
Eric, clip it.
Chase?
Send it to me.
Don't.
Eric, I want it on my phone by the end of the
All
month.
right.
Here we go.
All right. So, what did I watch before this? Run Lola Run. I was like, all right, let's take it back a little bit over to Casablanca and really deep dove into this one. I already saw this before. But I wanted to watch it again because I didn't feel like I gave it like the attention it deserved.
I gotta download it real quick. Sorry, y'all.
Casablanca, man. It was or Casablanca, however you pronounce it. It's interesting.
Eric,
I thought it was a good little. Don't Eric, are you fucking closing it over there?
you said done. It's already on my phone, Jake. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh god. Oh god. Wait, we got another guy
Sorry.
in here saying something. Sorry, we got
Oh my
distracted
gosh.
now. Now we gotta talk.
We're
Mark.
allowed to read the chat.
up?
We can read the chat real quick. I don't even have the picture up. I need some time. Here we go. Read the
Marvin
chat.
Hamslick won the Oscar for Best Original Song. The Entertainer, the movie, and the soundtrack started a resurgence of interest in ragtime music and. All right, hold on.
This guy, Mark
I don't like
Mark
ragtime
Swenson
either.
knows what he's talking about. Mark, thank you for
He's
being here.
dialed
You are heavily.
Sound like you're an
You're the guy we
encyclopedia.
needed in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let us know if we got anything wrong. Get us right.
Yeah, if we're saying something outrageous, we're just some doofuses out here talking about movies, right?
Yeah. All right. So Casablanca, good love story, really good lighting, really good everything. Like everybody like gasses up this movie for being one of its best. I did a deep dive on it because I was curious why it's so like coveted. Obviously it's good, but I was like curious. Apparently it's about the timing. Apparently this came out right before America actually made it to Rio Casablanca and like the war was ending, and it was a really like patriotic
Pivotal.
film, like in terms of like everybody. I don't know. It made everybody super patriotic. It seems like, and then
That's awesome.
this Casablanca thing was also like when Hollywood was churning out movies left and right, and it was just another one of those. But like for some reason, the cast was like super cast well.
Humphrey
this-
Bogart's.
Humphrey Bogart.
He's in it.
Yeah, he's
at an
he's
elite
always a
level.
bad guy in most of the movies that he was up into this one. And this is like the first time he played like a role where he had a little heart to him. So like that was a good little subversion of expectations for his character. Like at the beginning of this movie, he's like, I don't put my neck out for anybody, and then by the end, that's all he's
Yeah.
doing, and it's for the guy that is getting sweet with his girl that he likes. So it's a powerful movie.
Who's a good guy? Like you aren't like
Yeah.
rooting against that guy. Like he's
Yes,
a good.
they don't make him an asshole or anything. Like you're pulling
Yeah,
for both
I thought
sides.
that was interesting. That was good.
But you're really pulling for the girl to get the guy she wants. But I don't know. It has like a remember when I was talking about like modernist films about like how like we do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, because it's like the honor code and like stuff like that. This movie
Yeah.
embodies that. It embodies
Just
like following
ethics and
code
morals.
and yeah.
yeah.
So, but I liked it. The story, the music was cool. Some of the close-up shots get really gassed up, and all the stuff that I looked up
I
afterward.
think the screenplay is really iconic and
Apparently,
just
apparently they went into this and they didn't know how the hell it was gonna end. Like they didn't know if the guy was gonna get the girl
Yeah.
or the girl was gonna get the guy in filming. Like they had no clue how it was gonna end.
Wow.
And they
yeah.
shipped it all together and it worked out right.
Well, the ending,
uh,
Jake, it's one of the most iconic endings. Iconic.
You're talking about I feel like this is gonna be the
dialogues.
start of a beautiful adventure. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like they didn't know if he was gonna go in the plane or not. They didn't know how the hell the captain was gonna react when he got there.
I know, but
It
it's
was
not like
it
they
was
like had that line written down. Like it's pretty crazy. He probably
I
like
know
riffed that thing.
they riffed
That's crazy.
like all that at the end, and it was like really meaningful stuff. So that's why it was cool. So I liked Casablanca.
Jake, Mark Swenson was a boomer who lived through the movie that you were talking about earlier. And he said,
Run.
Mark said Ingrid Bergman in the one was stunning, and I'd agree. She's definitely one of like the most iconic like I wouldn't say
Oh
femme fatale, but like she's like
yeah, not
love
that.
interest, love
No,
interest.
she's very yeah. She's good looks. She's good looks. She does a good job in this one. She's a great actor too. Like hits all the emotional notes. That's what we were talking
Yeah.
about the whole time. Yeah.
All right.
All right, hold
Next
on.
one here.
Is Mark talking about Run Lola Run, or is he talking about something else?
No, he's talking about year one with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, the Sting. Oh, nice.
Yeah, when you were saying like the music.
Oh, he won. He won an Oscar for it. Get out of here. There's no way that's what that is.
He said he didn't like it either, but I
Oh,
guess
okay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
that's cool.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me know. I thought the story was awesome. Okay. So
All
we're on
right,
the
I have
same page there.
another epic movie here.
Go ahead. I got a good one following too.
Sorry, guys. I'm glad we're doing the share screen.
Thanks,
I really
Mark.
feel like it adds a lot. Um, Here we go. All right, guys, another Kubrick. I watched Barry Lyndon.
Oh, let me
Jake,
get
have you
over.
did you end up watching this one?
I have not seen it. No, I have not seen
Okay.
it.
So this
It's a long one.
one's we are very dialed in to the British like side of things, and guys, I'm gonna let you know. Like, I don't know, like, even where to start with this one. So much happens. We start off this young character Barry Lyndon. We actually figure out like why he's named Barry Lyndon for like the first 2/3 of the movie, uh, and Lyndon is actually he gains the name through marriage, which is actually
All
we
right.
learn
How's
later
this?
on.
How do we care about that? Let's get into what
Jake,
we care about here.
I gave it. I'm gonna tell you guys off rip here. I gave it a 4 because it was just long. I understand like the cinematic gravity this thing holds like in cinema. Like I know it's
Some big,
like
nice wide shots,
obviously
like
4
getting a
actors.
lot
Like
of.
it's made well. Like it's one of the best Kubricks of all time. Uh,
Well,
a lot of people like in Europe love it. Like it's like their favorite movie. Just because it dives into their culture. We are like, uh, I don't even know what time period you would call this, but
is it not Revolutionary
uh,
War?
no, it's not. No, it's not at all.
It's just in England?
It's like in Europe, like just like
Okay.
their perspective of like they're in war. There's a war going on, but it's like over in Europe. And he actually joins the army. We kind of like get the rise, and I'm just gonna the rise and fall of a character. That's what we learn like through this one, and we really like dive into his life. One thing I didn't like the reason I didn't really like connect with this one well is like he's such an innocent guy at the beginning of it. Like that's like how a character arcs. Like you start him off like really innocent, and then he becomes like increasingly like whatever. Um, I don't think he earned like becoming like this kind of tyrant guy that he ended up becoming. Which is kind of sad. Like I know I like it was supposed to happen, but I don't even Jake. I don't want to dive into it because you haven't seen it, but like I don't want to like take
These
away
people
from your
haven't either.
experience watching it.
Yeah.
You said what?
It's like these people most likely haven't
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
It's definitely like
If you want to
Kubrick's
learn a lot about
fun
Europe
director,
and
but
like England's perspective, like early on, like kind of their war, like he ends up getting into gambling and like they call it gaming. Um,
That was me.
okay. But yeah, Jake, I give it a 4. I would have more to say about this.
That's actually surprisingly high for what I thought it was gonna be.
I
So
gave
it wasn't
Kubrick
that
I
bad.
give Kubrick his flowers with this one. Like I give him the benefit of the doubt. Like Kubrick's Kubrick.
I won't be so kind when I get to Lolita. I watched that this month. Okay.
Okay. Well, I understand why this one was great. It's just not my cup of tea personally.
Okay.
No pun intended with the English stuff going on.
Yeah, that was good out of you.
yeah.
Good work. Okay. All right. Next one. I watched Star Wars: New Hope. I won't get into it too much. We've all
Let's
seen
go.
it before.
Let's get
I
into
just
it.
needed a little
Come
refresher
on.
course. No, man. I just needed it. I just needed to rewatch it. Um, and I just want to say I forgot how much happened in this movie from beginning to end. Like it's impressive how it sets the stage of this little part of Star Wars. There's the Death Star. There's like the rise of Luke learning a little bit. He didn't learn much this one, but using the Force and understanding what that is. Destruction of the Death Star. Um, it's just like a beautiful whole story, and you forget that because you have this idea of what Star Wars is in your head,
Jake, that's what I'm saying. That's why I like this one
and
like, so
then
much.
you rewatch
It's
it,
so good.
and then it's yeah. Well, like you have an idea of what it is, and then like you go back and watch the first one, and you're like, okay, that's all it was when that movie came out. And then I'll get into. I mean, I might as well get into it now. I also watched Empire Strikes Back following that one, just because I wanted to feel the transition, and yeah, it's you learn a lot more about like um, the Force and like Jedi training and all this crazy stuff in the next one, Empire Strikes Back, and I don't know but like A
Jake,
New Hope and its
the ending
contained
of this
story,
one
it's so good.
gives me chills every time, dude. I love it so much.
Yeah, it is surprisingly contained and
Jake,
does a good job.
introduction of the best villain of all time.
Yeah,
Creation of one of the coolest main characters of all time. And you have Han Solo. And
Mhm.
it's just, dude, if you're like imagining, like it came out in 1977, I believe. Just put yourself in 1977 shoes. And
I
you,
was
you
trying
pull up
to.
to this thing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was trying to. It
There's
has its
nothing like it.
moments where it's corny, but like it all gets superseded by it being like
Well,
an awesome idea.
Jake, Denis Villeneuve said it himself. Like he doesn't like dialogue that much. Like he said, if I could do a movie without dialogue, like I would do it.
Hmm.
This movie's dialogue not great. I'll say that. But the actual like the premise and like the creation of the lightsaber, like I mean, it just like started the whole like. There's a reason why there's still Star Wars stuff coming out. Like even though
Yeah.
they're kind of pumping it out right now, like Disney is, but this is like where it started, and this inspired Dad when he was little. Like he was 8 years old in the theater watching this thing. Like blew his mind off.
It's also a fun thing to go back and watch the first one to see how um respectful everything else that's come out since then has been to the like this main story, and everything holds up fairly well. Um, I think yeah, I don't know, man. I just liked it. I needed to get a refresher, and if
And
you haven't in a
dude,
while, why not give it another
dude,
watch? 'Cause you know
old
it's gonna be
Ben,
good.
dude, old Ben Kenobi in this
Yeah,
one's
he's great.
awesome.
He's great.
So cool. And that duel, like where he becomes one with the Force. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
I my
iconic.
one of my favorite parts is like them getting into the Death Star to go save the princess. Like
Yes.
that whole
Jake,
operation.
so much happens.
That whole
And they're
operation
throwing
could
on
be that
the
could be the end of the
stormtrooper
film right
fits.
there. That could be the end of the movie. But then they
Yeah.
have then they go back. It is a little rushed. You're like, God damn, I mean, they did get these plans at the beginning of the movie, but they already know how to use them. Like, okay, we're in there.
Yeah.
Luke's talking shit. He's like, "Oh, dude, I shot wampa rats on my planet. I can do this." Like that was his logic for it not being hard. I was like, "All right, bro."
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
one
get
with the
it.
Force, bro. He's like the strongest with the Force.
Yeah.
Like Skywalker.
Bro doesn't know.
Gene pool.
I thought that was awesome.
Skywalker gene pool. And
Yeah.
then Darth Vader, iconic entrance. So
He's
great.
sick the whole time. It's a good movie. Yeah, 5s. All right, next.
Fives. Let's go. Let's go. You want to do another one after that one?
I can if you'd like me to.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
like you to. Just because.
All right. Next one I watched. I got a little. I was like, all right, I watched this. Saw some great special effects. Now it's time to transition to having the whole thing be special effects, and we went to animation. We did Coco.
baby.
I'd seen this one fairly recently, like last year, but threw it on. Why not? It's one of my
Dude,
favorites.
this is one of the best
Literally
animated movies.
caught me. Literally gets me like emotional every time by the end, and I can't help it. I literally could not help it. I knew it was coming. I know it's
cried
gonna
like
happen,
3 times. I cried like 3 times watching this.
bro. I literally cause all the emotional aspects are around a song, and it just like hits different. Like it you know how like some good dialogue might hit an emotional moment, but like this is about a song that like unlocks a special like it's I don't know, man. This one hits a little differently. If you haven't watched a Pixar movie in a while and you want to watch something and you want to learn about a little Mexican culture, little Dia de Muertos, like why not this one? So it's a good one.
It's
This
all
one's
And the picture meme was created from it.
yeah, that's a great meme.
The Sonic Mario
Yeah,
classic.
I mean we got a boomer in the chat, so we gotta be careful.
Yeah, I
Talking
know,
a
but
little too aggressive about
it's
memes and whatnot.
It's a great meme.
It's a good meme.
It is probably top 3 Pixar for me.
God, there's a lot of good Pixar movies though, man.
I know,
But this one,
just the emotional
hits.
like the pull out of this thing is uncalled for.
It's just like the subject matter just forces you to like if you're a human, you're gonna feel something. Like it's kind of
Alright,
just
that's
like
good.
inevitable.
That's a good target
So that's
audience.
why
I don't know.
so that's why they did that. Yeah, this one was but I don't like the story's like decent, but like just the ending hits a little differently just because it's something that everybody can relate to. So
Hey Disney, let's
I
drop
give
more
it
of
a
these, huh?
4.8. I watched Wall-E last month. We watched Coco this
4.8
month.
on a animated movie.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
do.
not supposed to be doing that. It's not supposed to be doing that. But it did.
Hey, let's do more of these, Disney. Come on.
No, not more of these because they're trying to do more of these and they're doing a bad job.
Yeah, Jake watched another Pixar. Is that next?
It is next. I watched next.
Let's
I was
just
like,
do it. Let's just knock it out. Let's
I
just
was like,
knock it
dang.
out.
I was like, hey, Pixar, you did a good job. You made me, feel all the
Strata.
emotions. Now it's time to watch your newest one. See if you still got it. Nope. And this one's Elemental.
Jake was inspired by Coco to watch the newest, and this is what happened.
Are you repeating what I said? Yeah, I watched
No,
Elemental.
Yeah, let's just.
I watched Elemental, and it was okay. What do I want to say about this? It's just okay. Animation, good job, guys. You still got animation skills, but
Good job, guys.
screenwriting, like, okay, we're talking about a little different story here. Talking about no character
It
depth.
is-
Like, I do not care about anybody here, and they're pretty one-dimensional the whole time. And I was really confused about the whole relationship. The fire is supposed to date the water, and
Are we?
this is-
Are we
it's like-
running out of ideas over there?
I
going
mean,
on?
I'm sure there's ideas, but they went with this one and they tried to make something because they were like, fire looks cool because we're using a new animation that was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so now it might be cool. But they didn't have a story to go with it, so. But it's
AI
like
guy write
it's
the
like one of the first times that I've seen like a dedicated, like romance movie in Pixar's arsenal.
All right.
Like this,
So it's like
this one
purely romance.
really
It's
doesn't.
not like
Yeah.
they're like trying to get the MacGuffin.
Oh, there's
It's
definitely
just-
something. There's definitely something, but I never understood why it mattered and like how the hell it was. So basically, because you're not gonna watch it. There's a canal that
No.
runs through the metropolitan area. It's like this
Zootopia.
basically the outsiders. So they live in their own little town, but everybody else, yeah, everybody else lives in the nice town where everybody can be happy. But uh, one guy leaks through the pipes and pulls up on the fire shop, and then they have a little connection. Or no, doesn't start as a connection. He is an inspector, and he's gonna write them up for having leaky pipes. And then I'm like, all right, this already sucks, cause God, it's bad. I'm getting tired thinking about it. This guy who's water, like they thought it'd be good to make him a super emotional character that cries a lot because he's water, and I hated that. Like I don't like
Why is
I
he
don't
wearing
like
a
a
purse
guy.
too, Jake? Is he wearing a purse? What are we doing?
Bro's got a satchel on. I have no clue. I have no clue. I didn't like it.
It's
I
not a
didn't like
purse, it's
him.
a
I did
satchel.
not like the water guy. The girl was fine as the fire. I thought they had something with her, but this guy, I don't know what she sees in this guy. I was not happy with it. But
All right.
we'll give that
Alright.
one a 2. I don't even know if I want to give it that high. 1. 1 out of 5. Just
1 out
because
of
of
5,
the
you heard it here
animation.
first.
Because you got animation. You got good animation. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I was
All
waiting
right,
for
Jake.
this movie to end. It never ended. It was like 2.5
This
hours
is
long.
a
Swear to God.
complete 180 here.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Sorry guys, all the stuff is really small on my screen.
Big chill. Warning. Main characters are college friends from. Hey, we don't hate Michigan over here. We are Big Ten guys. I don't know if Tye is because he's Clemson now.
I'm Big Ten.
I'm pulled for Big Ten, so I don't mind having a story with some Michigan Wolverines in it. That's okay. I have not seen the Big Chill, but I've seen the Big Lebowski. I'll put the Big Chill on my list. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry I haven't seen a lot of things you're asking about. I feel like I'm letting you down.
Mark, give us recommendations like that. We need to be cultured.
please.
But speaking of being cultured, have you seen this? Probably, most likely. All right.
Let's see what you got. Sorry, I was over.
Dr.
Okay.
Strangelove. Another Kubrick. This was like my Kubrick month, and I loved every second of it. I still have like 3 more, I think, in his filmography to complete
Okay.
everything. But this one I have watched, like briefly before. I fell asleep watching it.
Huh?
Dr.
It was that. It was
Strangelove,
that
but-
boring.
No, I was really tired.
Oh, okay.
So I don't remember a lot. I remembered like the beginning, and then it was just a little blurry after that.
Just
but
picked a wrong time to watch it. Got it.
yeah, but I finally sat down, turned this thing on. I was really excited about it, and this is like one of the greatest satires of all time. And it really depicts the Cold War and just kind of the mindset of the people, and kind of pokes fun at it, like at nuclear warfare being like in everyone's head, and
Pokes fun at the possibility of something like this happening.
yeah,
As a
And as you can-
retroactive way to not let it happen.
yeah. Jake, dive into that for the people so they understand that real quick.
So Kubrick was like, he got interviewed about why he made this movie, and he was like, I made this movie so I could feel better about it not happening because there's like public discourse about. So the whole plot of the movie, basically at the beginning, is a American military general decides to use the nuclear codes that he has access to. Obviously, the president is supposed to be involved in that kind of situation, but he went rogue and kind of jumped past his command. There was like some plan that he could put in motion that would like supersede any kind of president needing to be had for the operation to move through. But anyway, all this is a satire. so he could feel better about maybe it won't happen if I make it happen on screen, because there's a lot of fear and during the Red Scare and like all the stuff with the Cold War. So, and this is
Yeah,
a great movie that is very funny.
it's really funny. And when I first like turned this thing on, like I didn't know it was supposed to be as funny as it was. Like I was kind of expecting like Kubrick's he's crazy. It's crazy. Like he's such a great director because he's like directed a movie in pretty much every genre, from sci-fi to horror to thriller to a period piece on Barry Lyndon. Um, and then this is like his comedy, pretty much. Um, and I was really like just enjoying it the whole time I was watching it. And this character you see here, there's an actor in this thing. His name's Peter Sellers, um, and he plays like multiple characters within this movie, which is pretty funny. I can't. I'm trying to think of another movie that like an actor plays multiple roles. Like, can you think of one?
This guy was really
There's like
talented, and
yeah
they dressed him up, and like if you didn't notice on first take, you wouldn't have noticed. Like it wasn't part of the
yeah
bit. He was just really had really
he's
good range. He was just a part of it.
super talented. Yeah,
Kubrick must have loved this guy.
yeah.
He was also in Lolita.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, he's a like just a master of his craft, and this character right here, Doctor Strangelove, is hilarious. Um, he's always telling like there's like a war room in this thing, and we're going back and forth. Jake, tell him about the phones and why that was funny.
Yeah. Well, first off, funny thing about the war room is, uh, I think President Kennedy came into the White House, or somebody came in thinking that there's an actual war room because this movie came out and they depicted a war room, and they're like, that's not a real thing. Like we don't actually have a war room, which might be what they tell in the public, but allegedly
Yeah,
there is no war room. Like it was made up. Like Stanley Kubrick came up with the war room, which is an awesome
that's
thing.
crazy because I feel like I've
Um,
seen it in other movies.
yeah. So this one, part of the comedy, obviously it's satire, so it's gonna poke fun at things that we kind of take for granted. But like the phone, there's some sketches that happen or moments that happen that have to happen over the phone, and there's like phone etiquette that everybody knows, and so like I don't know, the president of America is on the phone with the Russian guy, the Russian prime minister or whatever, trying to tell him that like there's a bomb coming. Like, what do we do about it? And they were like, I don't know. It's just a
Dimitri,
funny, all that.
dude,
Yeah, yeah. Dimitri is hilarious. We never hear him speak, but like you only hear one side of the phone, and it's like everybody is around like waiting for this guy to get done with this call so they can take action, and it's all of it is just poking fun at like it not being a great way to communicate. And
yeah.
yeah, so that's what it was.
It's all time. Like it's so funny, and then the movie like abruptly ends, which is like hilarious. And I think the music they use in this movie, like the music when they every time they cut to the plane, they have like the same like kind of marching like sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Kubrick's
wanted to
great
sing
with
the
like
sailor thing right there. What is it actually? They all
he's great
come
at
marching.
yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
Kubrick's kind of known for using these classical pieces like within his movies,
yeah.
and it's just so it works so well. And the one other guy I want to give a shout out in this one, there's a lot of great actors in this, but George C. Scott, um, he plays the general who I talked about the other day.
General Turgard or something.
Yeah, General Buck, that's his nickname in this thing, and he's so funny. Like he's like he's like talking directly to the president in the war room, and just his facial expressions and like the way he like just like yells and like is so adamant about like being against the Russians, and like they even like have a Russian ambassador within the room, and he like starts a fight with them, and that's when the like classic line is like, "Gentlemen, this is a war room. Like there's no fighting."
Yeah.
I messed that line up, but
There's
it's
no
all
fighting
time.
in the war room.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. And
It's
then
got a
James
lot
Earl
of
Jones is also in
wavy
this
shit.
thing, who's the voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool as well. Um, and this Doctor Strange like character, he's doing like the thing with his arm, like he's trying to like sit on his hand, and that scene's so funny. If you actually look in the background, the Russian ambassador guy is like he like almost breaks character, and then he like holds it in. I noticed
Really?
that when I was watching it, and it's
That's
so
awesome.
funny. Yeah, you got to go back and watch it, because he's just trying to like not die laughing, and I can't imagine how many takes they did of this. Um, but yeah, great
Mark,
movie.
Mark, I'm
Had
gonna
to
let
bring
you
it up.
know. Mark, I'm gonna let you know. I am writing these down. Um, He's got some more Peter Sellers movies.
Yeah, Peter Sellers. I knew he was in Pink Panther as well. I need to check out Being
I
There.
didn't know he was in Pink Panther. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the OG Pink Panther guy. Yeah, yeah.
that's dope.
Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna write him down too, Jake.
Yeah.
Here, here, I'll do it while
Let's see what I
you're
got
talking
next.
about yours.
We're
Yeah.
gonna move on pretty quickly here. All right, French Connection. So this was in. I got a book, and there's like a few movies that are listed as like some of the most memorable American movies of all time. And this was on the list. I needed to watch French Connection. Um, I was confused with it being like the French Dispatch, which is
Oh,
Wes
that's Wes
Anderson movie.
Anderson. Yeah,
But yeah, French Connection's its own thing. It's a really good one.
I've heard of
Um,
it before.
it
Never seen it
is.
though.
It's like it's following two detectives. Um, they catch the trail of some kind of drug uh, situation, and this is probably one of the first ones that did something like that. With the like they do a lot with foreground, like background, foreground, like your characters in the foreground, but then across the street we got like the guy
Ooh,
being the
I like
detective,
that.
like across, like it's cool. Um, the action sequences I remember, like the chase scene in this, like there's so much chasing in this, but there's one specific chase scene where a car is chasing after a train, and it is electrifying. I was like so invested. Like
Oh, really?
yeah,
Let's
so
go.
like there was a part there where I thought it was coming to a lull a little bit for me, and then out of nowhere, there's just no dialogue, and it's just action for like 20 minutes straight, and it's electrifying. And like the start of this action happens out of nowhere, um, and it's so fun. Like that part was awesome. But then there's also moments that I enjoyed where um, the person they're tailing starts to is pretty clever, starts to suspect some things, and he does some fun things with that. Um, and then it ends in a really uh, interesting way. It's
Did you
definitely a
know
memorable film.
any actors in this movie I would know? Or
Um, I think
is
so.
it a thriller? Uh,
It is like a it's just like
like an
a one
action?
of those it's one of those noir films that's like about like I don't know, being like a private eye.
Imagine trailing suspects without today's tech. That's a cool
Yeah.
example right there.
Did Mark say that or
Hey,
you?
we're proud of you,
What?
Mark. Yeah,
Mark's
thank you,
11.
Mark.
Yeah, it's a good one, dude. Let me find
Cool
the names
stuff.
of these guys because they did a great job. Gene Hackman is like
The
the
main
main
dude.
guy,
Cool.
and he kicks ass. And then
All right.
Roy Schreider.
Get
I don't
effort.
know.
I've heard of him before.
Yeah, I
I think.
recognized him. I did recognize him, but this one's good. I was like pleasantly surprised with it, especially
All
towards the
right.
end.
All right.
I'll give it a
Nice job.
4.7 out of 5, just because it was cool. I had a similar feeling when I watched Heat recently.
Dude,
So
I'm
like,
so glad you watched that.
do you remember in Heat when like the gunshots just start ringing out and it feels like super
Like on the street.
realistic? Yeah,
Yeah, that's like one of the all-time like firefights.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
that
in a
firefight
movie.
was like fucking awesome. But
Yeah.
this fight, this chase scene feels very similar. Like there's some lulls, but like it pays off to some big moments. So it's cool.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Wait, Jake,
There
is
you go.
Roy the same guy? The guy you mentioned, is he the same guy who we mentioned earlier in that other movie with Robert Redford? Is it the guy from Jaws? That's what I think that's what Mark
Yeah,
said.
boy, it is
It is?
it's the cop. It's the cop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't recognize him on the yeah, bro.
Wait, it's like
It's like
the main
it's
character
actually
in Jaws?
Brody. Brody. Yeah, Brody
Oh my!
is like
I was like, I've heard that name, bro. All right,
yeah,
I'm
Detective
glad.
Brody,
I'm
bro. Yeah,
glad.
he's in there. He's in there and then you don't know the main actor, but he makes his name for himself in this.
Oh,
I'm
that's
so
funny,
sorry
dude.
I didn't recognize that. Yeah, that's what that was. I
Well,
was
there you
like I
go.
do remember a guy that we recognize.
Mark's on the ball tonight. We appreciate you, Mark. Thank you.
Mark, we are attentive over there. I appreciate you.
All right, dude. I got something next here.
Dude, I don't know if I'm
Today.
gonna. I I still have a lot of movies left.
All right. Well,
This is a problem.
I have like four.
All right, you can keep going, bro. Can we get a little
Just
quicker?
talk about what you want to talk
Can
about.
we get a little
we can be
quicker?
quick. Yeah, we can be quick.
Okay.
We can be quick. Sorry about it.
I got to go to the
Um,
bathroom too, so you're gonna
alright.
have to talk to people.
All right, guys. How we doing tonight? Jake is gonna be back momentarily. If you guys have any movie recommendations for like next month, or if you guys are wondering any of our thoughts on anything, thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying it, feel free to leave a like. Uh, I don't want to be like the classic YouTuber guy here, but I really appreciate y'all. Means a lot that you're in here. Me and Jake are just glad we can talk about some movies tonight, and look forward to doing this each month. So, all right, Jake,
How'd it go?
it was good. I just had a little heart to heart with the squad.
Okay. You didn't talk about a movie?
No.
Okay. Go.
All right, I'll be quick with this one.
Please.
This was on Netflix. Griselda, Sofia Vergara. She actually doesn't look like herself in this one. Like she kind of does look like herself in this picture here, but they used some kind of mask on her face. Not mask, but like heavily done up. But she's a badass in this, and very similar to Narcos, but it's her, and she's like trying to provide for her family, and then like it's kind of like Icarus gets too close to the sun. That's kind of her story. I looked up the chick that was actually Griselda in real life, and she looks nothing like this at all. So not too accurate of a portrayal, but
It's Hollywood. They gotta do it.
I don't watch a lot of TV shows, but like these kind of like quick 50 to 40-minute episodes, like only 8 episodes, I can sign up for that. But yeah, that's it for that
Cool.
one.
Okay. I did not end up watching that one. I did see it on like the front page though.
Dad was
Netflix.
hyping it up, so I made sure I checked it out.
That's fair. Okay, next one I watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Apparently this was based on a true story in Georgetown. This is a horror movie, but it's also like a what do you call that? A law room thriller. So like it was a cool mixture of like there's like horror outside of the courtroom, but then there's also like it made like the dull moments in a trial movie interesting. And then obviously I enjoy like the trial movie. Like I enjoy like the trial stuff where the two guys go at it. The girl in this, like the actress that plays I don't have all these things listed in front of me here.
It's all
But it's
good,
the
dude.
it's the mom in Ozark is like
Okay.
the main She
All
did a
right.
great job in it. Laura Linney. Uh,
What are we
yeah,
rating it?
I rate it. It was like a solid 4 for me. Like I was pretty pleasantly
All right.
surprised with it. I thought it was gonna be
I gave
scarier, to be honest with you.
I gave Griselda a 4 as well. I forgot to rate that.
Okay.
Scarier? Yeah, that picture that's a scary looking
There's
title
some
right
scary
there. Title
moments,
screen.
but they leave a lot to the imagination. So
All right.
it's only as scary as you
Next
make it.
one. I had a good time watching this one. Let me pull it up here. Um, yeah, this was a fun watch. If you haven't seen this one, I'll show it right here.
Eric, I didn't make it to the new Bob Marley movie. I heard good things about it though. Um, I was meaning to watch that. I just since everything in the theaters was so bad for a while, it made me like really wait for like a I know what would be like a really good one. So
Yeah. Hey,
it
shout
didn't
out
too.
Mark by the way. Thank you for
That was Eric, but
all your
yeah.
recommendations. I just wanted Mark
Okay.
had to leave, but if you're watching this back, appreciate you, man. All right, Jake. I don't know if you've probably seen this one like recommended before. It's When Harry Met Sally. It's a little rom com, but it's actually got like a more substance to it than like a typical rom com. The dialogue is like all time. I This Billy Crystal's in it. Dad I know loves him probably from this movie. And then the girl in it, I can't remember her name, but she's Goose's wife in the original Top Gun, uh, which is a fun thing there. But basically, the premise of this thing, they meet each other on the way. They both like graduate college, and they're moving to Chicago. And they like Billy Crystal's dating a different chick, and then she's like dating someone else. But they're like driving up to Chicago together because they're both moving there for work. And so they part their separate ways once they get to Chicago. But they had like an interesting time together, like a memorable time. Like they didn't like each other at all when they were with each other, and then they keep bumping into each other. Uh, like, and it's kind of funny. The movie like it cuts like after like a sequence, probably like 20 minutes or so. It'll cut to like an old couple, and they'll tell the story of how they met. So it's like cut out like with that, and then you go back to the story, and it'll like jump 5 years, and then it'll jump another 5 years after it goes to another old couple. Like so, like throughout the movie, you're like pleasantly surprised with like some like cute old couples, and some of them like hate each other, and it's really like relevant and it's funny. It's just like a really real movie. I enjoyed it. Me and Erin actually watched it together, and like she had a good time watching it. And it's actually um some of the stuff went over my head. Like the writing was just so like brilliant. Like I gotta hand it to whoever wrote the script. And
Dang. Love
Billy
to hear that.
Crystal, he's like a really smart, witty guy in this movie. And I love a smart, witty actor, like especially like if he's talking to a girl or something like that.
The
And
opposite of that is Past Lives. It does a good job doing the opposite of that, not knowing
yeah,
what to say.
yeah,
But it can work both ways, so that's good to know.
yeah.
Good
And
stuff.
then the cinematography as well on top of like the story. There's some like really beautiful shots in this one. They kind of use like the Chicago landscape to their advantage here, and like they shoot in like the park, like you see there. Like they use the trees and like the colors of the leaves and all that. There's some good wide shots, and they also use some like important like landmarks. I'm assuming like I'm not from Chicago, but like if you were walking around Chicago, you're like, oh yeah, that's from that probably. Um, but it was a good time. I think it came out in the late '80s. But highly recommend if you're watching by yourself. You're probably gonna feel a little lonesome, uh, most likely. So be careful. Like I mean, you're gonna get in your feels probably. Like it was fun because I watched it with Aaron, but if I was like on my own, it would have been like uh,
Got it.
a little deep. But
Okay. Do you have a rating?
Yeah,
Or
I'll
you
give
were
it
going?
a 4.7.
Okay. You highly recommend that one. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I also watched a little bit of a rom-com. I'm just gonna go to the one day. Uh, no, I actually watched Lolita first. We might as well talk about that one briefly. It is a Stanley Kubrick one. I thought I was in for a treat. It is an adaptation of a book that apparently was the rave of like the 1950s, I guess, because it was a little risque because it's about some foreign guy that marries his landlord because he thinks that his her daughter is pretty and
Mm.
wants to have like a relationship with her. Um, this one's really slow. The only thing I'd give to it is that it has an interesting way. It starts out where it ends, and then cuts back to like where the story starts. So that was cool.
Okay. Is
Um,
this later in his filmography? Like,
no, this is
or is
like
this early on?
19. This is when he was still having to stick to scripts. It seems like I don't think he had a lot of like there were some cool moments. Like one, I remember one shot where Lolita's like going up the staircase and like you're like, how did that camera move so smoothly up to the top of the steps? Like that was definitely some Kubrick action right there. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that. But then the actual story was pretty bland in my opinion,
All right.
and it didn't hit all the marks for me. I give it like a 2.5,
Oh
just
wow.
halfway,
Okay.
just a halfway. So good luck when you have to watch that one. It's long too. I
All
I
right.
didn't I didn't particularly enjoy that. Okay.
All right. Sounds
I
good.
mentioned Empire Strikes Back. I thought it was a great addition to the second one. There's something about a good movie that joins onto the second, like
Yeah,
a good
it's
first movie. It's and then
one of the
Empire
best
Strikes Back is my
sci-fis of all
favorite.
time.
Empire
Yep.
Strikes Back is my favorite of the original trilogy. We got Yoda, we got Hoth, we got uh like Luke and Darth Vader confronting. We
AT-ATs,
got the sky. Yeah, um, yeah, dude, it's a
Sky
good time.
City.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that. Why
Yeah.
Lando's place, whichever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Boba
Why
Fett's
is
in
it?
it.
Why I don't know the name of that? It's literally like cool ass name too. Cloud City.
Lando?
Is that it?
Yeah, yeah. I said that.
Is that all it's called? I feel
Yeah.
like it's like maybe it's the planet it's on. Anyway, great movie.
Druidia. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna
It's Spaceballs.
downgrade A New Hope to 4.9, and then we'll put this one at a 5, so it makes sense.
They
Okay.
can both be 5, but there's like a 5 plus.
Nope.
Come on,
That's
Jake.
all I get.
All right. That's crazy.
This
New
one
Hope's not 5.
expanded. Yeah. Well, because this one really expanded the Star Wars universe into a direction that we could see some kind of potential. Like it's a beautiful thing.
Is there no potential after the end of the first one? Are you kidding me?
Well, it's a solid like story within itself, but it doesn't like ask any questions about what might happen in the future. It's just kind of like it is what it
I
is.
mean, it's
But
better than
then
the original. It's better than Dune compared to Dune 2, though.
yeah, I'm talking about New Hope right now. A New
I know.
Hope is
I'm
within
saying
itself.
Dune 1 versus Dune Part 2. I'm saying like so A New Hope's more of a full movie than the Dune movie. Like you gotta
Yeah,
say
it's
that at
not even a
least.
comparison.
Yeah. So like you can give that one.
Dune 1 leads into the second one because it knows it's going to have a second theatrical release, likely.
Okay.
A New Hope is like just hoping that people like this concept. Like, we don't know if it's good or not, but they hit a home run. And then they came out with
Yeah.
this one. And then when they had this movie in mind, then they started really adding George Lucas's elements in that, like, really made the Star Wars universe come to what we know it is today.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
And then we got to bring up like Luke, I'm your father, but it's I'm your father. That's like one of the greatest reveals of all time, and
Yeah.
yeah, you're
It's
allowed to bring that up. You're allowed to
I know I'm scared to
say
bring
it's a
things
good.
up, but that part obviously is
If you
like the
haven't seen
best
it,
part in
like,
cinema. It's one of the biggest twists in cinema. Like,
yeah,
and what else? like having that whole Yoda sequence. And I just watched a YouTube video that got me pretty dialed in about like um, puppet
Mm,
movies and puppet stuff. Like Yoda
yeah.
is one of the first super realistic, like believable characters that's a puppet, like that's been made, and it was a super
Yeah.
big risk, and they kicked ass with it, and it was such a good addition. Like
Yeah.
Yoda's an awesome addition that doesn't get enough like recognition for it being like one of the first of its kind in terms of like an
Yeah.
actual character with depth that's a Muppet. So
True.
there we go.
Um,
But
I agree.
and oh, one more thing, the way that they played into that character, like, cause like everybody's immediate assumption of what a character is when it's like a puppet, they think it's like a clown. So that's why like you feel so strange about looking back at Yoda when he gets first introduced and he's acting like a weirdo, like hitting things and like acting
Oh
like a
yeah.
clown. Like that's because it's playing into what the audience expects. And then all of a sudden he flips on its head and he's like this wise Jedi master. It's sick. So that's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. That
All
yeah,
right.
that's a great scene. And then we got to watch Return of the Jedi. I watched that this past year in theaters, and it was one of the best experiences,
Yeah, I
like
gotta
theater
get to that.
experiences I've ever had. All right, Jake. I have this one. I'll just I have two left for those
Okay.
watching. Um, sorry. It's hard to find these, dude.
Yeah, probably. I might as well talk about one that I watched while you're doing that
Yeah, that's cool.
because I got a few. Uh, quickly, I'll talk about One Day. Ty said he watched a romance. I watched a romance. Um, it was by suggestion. I did not want to watch romance, but why not? Um, it's
Dude,
called
you have a
One
lot of
Day.
movies left.
Yeah, I know. It's called One Day.
Holy
It's
shit.
got what's her name? Who's Catwoman and like the Batman Rises and whatnot. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about. Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway is the main girl in this one. It's set in London. Um, it's like they meet each other on the day of their graduation, and then it shows every day or that specific day every year in advance from that moment on, and like that's the only time you get to see them. Felt very like forced, like that probably didn't happen on their anniversary of meeting, but okay, like it moves the plot forward. Um, one thing, like it was fine. I didn't really like Anne Hathaway. I could vibe with like the guy interest though. Like I didn't really mess with that much. He kind of was like a womanizer, and I didn't enjoy that much. Like
Mm.
I was like okay, um, and then like it tries to pull on your heartstrings a little bit. One thing, I'm reading this book that talks about movies and how, like, I'm in the A's right now, and I happen to read Accidents. And in this one, I'm just gonna spoil it for you. Like, they make it through this like rocky relationship together, and then she gets hit by a car, and it's like, why the hell did we do that? So like, it was just like a dumb thing. I hate movies that like a movie should never not like have a deciding factor that like isn't within the character's choices. Like it was just like it's a dumb decision, and I didn't
Mm.
like that part. Okay,
All
so
right.
I'll give it a 2 out of 5 because there were some parts where that was cute.
All right. This is mine, and it's a 5 out of 5 coming in. Talked about it briefly. It's another Spielberg great, Jurassic Park, one of the greatest movies of all time. Um, I'll break it down again, but really similar in Rambo. To like, we really dive into these characters rather than just like dinosaurs eating people. Like that's definitely a cool aspect of the movie. But we really like learn about Alan Grant and like how he's like not a fan of kids, and then we get his character arc and like I love Jeff Goldblum in this movie, like he's so great. Iconic character out of him too. Like I swear everything that comes out of his mouth is quotable. Um, and I didn't
I feel like
realize
he gets too much gas.
really
I don't know.
like Jake, you got to rewatch it. You got to rewatch it. You
Maybe I will.
appreciate him a lot. Yeah. I understood that too. Like going into it, I was like, oh, like I wonder if he's like actually good in this movie, and then he's necessary.
It's good. Okay. What do you think
And
about everything else?
the CGI mixed with the animatronics, like it's indistinguishable. Like this movie feels like you're actually there, and I mean it's all time. Like I was telling Jake, like there's just so much that went into this movie. Just
I think
from,
you
like,
touched on it
the-
last episode. So.
Yeah, just from like a merch perspective, and like I know I already got into it, but I feel like I just need to do it justice. I can't just like skip it real quick.
Sure.
Just know I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And definitely rewatch it if you haven't watched it in a while. It lives up to the hype, and there's a reason why there's buzz around every time one of these movies get announced. Just because of what it started out with, and this world that John Williams and Steven Spielberg created, on top of some great acting. The little kids can get a little annoying, but they're not too bad at the end of the day. And the Velociraptors are the coolest ever, and the T-Rex as well.
They're so sick. How about
And I was
having
gonna
both
say-
of them in there? It's good.
Yeah, what I said in the last time I talked about this was, we barely get like there's dinosaurs on the screen for like very little of this movie, and we mostly focus on the characters. Like the T-Rex exhibit is the second exhibit in the ride of Jurassic Park when they're like going through on the little track and it stops. So yeah, I just had to bring that up. Like we focus on the characters a lot, and so we care about the characters, and then that's where the tension is built right there. In conjunction with John Williams just absolutely cooking up a masterpiece. Like how are we making this stuff up? Like I don't know how he does it. He's awesome.
I don't
This is
either,
like-
man.
Yeah. Top tier Spielberg and John Williams. All right.
Okay. Quick little PSA. That's what these TV shows are when I just talk about them. I watched a little bit of Nathan For You this month, and it's a 5 out of 5 show for me. Like it's just a funny concept. The guy is like a business. It's like a comedy, but it's like based in reality. And this guy comes in trying to help companies succeed in America, and he's got some wacky ideas that aren't very conventional and cost a lot of money, and they're really the only reason like they can do it is because they make money off the show. Like there's some extravagant things that happen, but then there's also some like, yeah, it's just hilarious. I want to give an example. Like one time, one of the earlier episodes, this farm isn't getting enough traction for visitors, so his plan is to create a viral video because he wanted more people to come to the place where this viral video might have happened. And he did this by having a pig save a goat in a pond that's on the property. And he had scuba divers in the water pushing the pig. He had this like
insane.
like it wasn't driving the right way, so like they had like this see-through like thing that like was a direct line to the goat to save it. And like it was like the dumbest thing of all time, but it ended up working, and they got like customers, and then his
Legit
job was
went-
successful.
Yeah,
So
legit,
it was
like
it was
went
beautiful.
viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check this out if you're bored or
He uses
don't know what
like
to watch.
law loopholes and stuff like that to help businesses try to get a little edge.
Yeah.
It's
We've talked about it before because you
Yeah,
talked
can't
about
help
the other thing you did, but yeah, definitely all timer.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
My last movie, and probably
Dune.
one of the best.
Is that what
Yeah.
you saw?
Yeah,
Okay, we already did like a whole video on this, so
I know we did, but just talk about it. All right, this was the last one I saw. Dune Part 2. Uh, we did have a whole stream on it, so go check that out if you want to hear our like full thoughts. Um, very much enjoyed this movie. Denis Villeneuve, officially like within the top tier of directors in my eyes now. Um, uh, Definitely a like an experience. If you go to the theater, it's not gonna just be like another movie. Like you're definitely gonna feel like a similar sensation of like when you get out of an Avatar movie and you're like, I was just on Pandora. Like now I have to like go back to work or like go back to school. Like it's really similar to that. Um, and yeah, I enjoyed this world that he built, and Hans Zimmer's score. He's inching his way up to John Williams status, and he always has a great score in there. Jake was saying it was seamless with the movie. Like you just kind of like feel it with the action. Like
Mm-hmm.
you almost don't even hear it because you're so immersed. But I bet upon like second rewatch, like I'll be able to hear it more. But like definitely was like dialed in. Didn't hear it as much as like I thought I would, but uh, seamless in a good sense of having me to feel the emotions that they want me to feel. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
just
it was a good one. It was definitely like it was a high octane like crazy action sequences that like you didn't really there's like a generic way to do things, and this was very unconventional, and it was like I enjoyed that part of it. And then it hit its climax really well. Um, to see the character development of these guys. Um, I mean, obviously, the prerequisite to watch the first one before this one to give you like a full scope of that.
yeah.
But it's a fun watch. I've like marinated with it a little bit more, and I appreciate it, and I'm happy that this is a thing, and I'm excited for the next one. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm bumping it up to a 4.9. Just because I saw I gave the original Dune like a 4.6 after I watched it again. So this one's definitely better than that one. So I'll give it a 4.9. And I want to give a shout out to Greg Fraser, who's the cinematographer. We didn't talk about him in the spoiler review. This guy did the first Dune, and he did the Batman that came out recently with Robert Pattinson. And he also did the cinematography for The Creator, which was one of my favorite movies of last year.
There you go.
Just from like a theater experience wise.
Guy was
Sometimes
cooking
it's
this
fun
year.
to just yeah. Sometimes it's fun to
Or
just
the
go to the
past year.
movie and just kind of appreciate the shots, like just the scope. This is
Yeah,
definitely
man.
one of those, and Greg Fraser definitely had his hand in
Good eye.
making some electric shots. Yeah. All right. That's it for
Okay.
that one though.
Let's see which ones I want to talk about because I still have a few left.
Yeah, you can
Um,
just keep it.
I'll just keep it brief. I'll just go through Frankenstein. Um, I watched the original. It was on my book list. I needed to do it. I needed to watch it, so I did. Actually, was impressed by like at the beginning. It felt like very staged, like in terms of like you can tell it's in like a studio. But a lot of the stuff towards the end of the film, like really expanded like the horizons of like I don't know. It had a bunch of different like different locations that it was shooting in, and I was impressed by that.
Hmm.
Um, that part of it was probably like well before its time in that aspect. Like it felt like it was like out in the countryside. It was cool. Um,
All right.
I didn't really care for the acting a whole too much, to be honest. It was old timey. So what are you gonna do? It was fine. I
All right.
liked it enough. Okay, I'm not gonna rank it. I don't really know where to put it. Um, watch that new Last Airbender series a bit on Netflix. I thought it was an interesting take on everything. Apparently, I watched that little kid on Jimmy Fallon. He's actually got some really good skills in real life. So props to him.
I saw that too.
Yeah, you sent it to me, I think, for a different reason,
Did I?
but yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, it was good though. I enjoy the Avatar series. I think it's a cool concept, and I was watching a few over with a few of my buddies. It's one of those ones you can just watch with some guys and just have a good time. That's all this one is for me. Psycho. I talked about this a little bit in a previous episode. This is another Alfred Hitchcock that I needed to watch, and I did, and I enjoyed it. Very unconventional. Once again, um, plays a lot with psychological, as you can tell by the like psychological like things like people are talking in their own heads, like you can hear their inner dialogue. I think that's an interesting way to do things. Um, that movie has a red herring, as Ty doesn't like to say. There is a red herring in
Well,
that one,
no, that's fine.
and yeah, I thought it was an interesting premise. I thought it was cool. I went back and did a little research on Alfred Hitchcock doing like a movie trailer for this. He like walked through the actual set and like was walking through the rooms and trying to like get buzz that way. I thought it was cool the way he did that. I thought that was a super interesting way to get some eyes on it. Um, Obviously, the iconic shower scene um, is like pure chaos, and it's like a super well crafted horror movie.
Mm,
Yeah.
good stuff.
All
I
right.
barely got that one up in time. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Good job. All right, we're going to American Fiction next time.
All right.
So I had to watch a few more Oscar movies to round out my like best picture. I haven't seen
Mhm.
Maestro because I've heard
Just
it's
your
not worth
idea.
my time. Yeah, I just want to be able to
He's
have
been getting
like
a
a
lot of
good
flack.
opinion.
He's been getting a lot of flack on social media.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not gonna add to it. I tried to watch it, and I didn't really enjoy the first 5 minutes, and I was like, this is not gonna work for me. Probably. It was like it's one of those ones that like started. This is not about American Fiction. It's about we're talking about Maestro right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it started out with him being older, and then I guess it was gonna go back and like go back through his life. But like some guys like pulled up to his house and wanted to talk to him. I didn't know who the guy was, so I didn't care that much.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love some good composing, so it could have been good, but I don't know. We watched American Fiction instead. This one had an interesting premise. I'm gonna let you figure it out by watching it. I think it's like a. Do you want to know? Nobody's
I'll
probably gonna
know.
watch
I
this
mean,
deep.
Oscars are coming up. Oscars
Yeah.
are coming
So
up. It's okay.
so the main character's tired of black people getting selling books that like super play into like the like a ghetto tone.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, the stereotypes. And so this guy makes like real books that he thinks are like actually analytical and interesting. But just as a joke, he types up this like criticism basically that's like a real book, but it's like it's all the things that he hates in books, like that are through his black culture, and yeah, it starts
It becomes
it
like
it
number one
creates like an
bestseller or
yeah
something.
it creates like an interesting storyline where people actually are willing to buy it and like want to sell it and make it a movie and everything, and he's implicated in that, and he has to figure out the best way to like
He's like,
approach the
don't want to
situation.
make money doing this, or like.
Yeah, because he is having a hard time with his other books, and like this leaves an opportunity for him to make money potentially, but
Yeah. All right, I understand.
it's an interesting
That's a good
concept.
premise.
Um, I I didn't like some of the ways that it intercut into like trying to be meta. There's meta moments in there where I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it just could have been what it was, and it tried to
What do
be
you
a
mean?
lot. There's like moments where the story is coming to a close, and um, like this guy cuts in and is like because like they're making a movie. Like this guy, I guess, was telling a director the whole time like what the movie should be about, and
Yeah.
they're like trying to figure out the best ending at the end of it, and like it was kind of like an interesting way, kind of like the way that Scorsese did something with Kills You the Flower Moon. It just kind of fell out of place.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those kind of things.
I
Not
got
to
you.
that extent. It was still within the story, but it just felt weird. I didn't like it that much. But
Okay.
I liked the concept of the movie. I don't have a rating for it.
Okay.
But I
Well,
don't think it's better than any other movie that's in the competition for Best Picture. Okay.
Okay.
Mad Max Fury Road. I did not watch this one at the right time. I watched it kind of before I was going to bed, so I need to give this another
It's
watch before
very
I give
good.
you my opinion. I thought the colors were cool. I thought she was cool. I thought he was cool, and yeah, so
Tom
I
Hardy.
had a good time with it.
It's a good time,
Um,
dude. You should give it a rewatch. I'm gonna give it a
I'll try to
rewatch
lock
soon
in.
as well, just because Furiosa Mad Max comes out later this year, and it's I think it's like in my top 3 most anticipated films of the year. Another movie that was in there was the Dune movie, so
Okay,
if it lives up to the hype,
yeah, then
I
we'll
would
be in a
love
good
it.
spot. All right.
Yep.
Last movie I watched, aside from Dune 2, I watched Fletch. Felt like watching a comedy the other night, so I threw this on.
That's funny.
It really is just like, it's a fun little witty action story. It's got some narration. It's not the best writing of all time, but like you're more watching it for the funny moments that like Chevy Chase is able to pull together on the screen. He has like his character is so nonchalant, and like there's a moment that I just loved where like just one moment. It's probably not. I'm not gonna do it justice, but he's like walking into like a cop. He's like just got arrested by some cops. He's walking in, and he's walking up to the desk, and he just like is looking around, and then he just casually picks up the phone and just starts dialing a number, and they just slam it back down, and he's just like, oh, he's just like, I don't know. He's
So
just
fed
acting
up.
so nonchalant. It's
That's
like
funny.
it's so funny. His character's good.
What's the premise
Um,
of it again? Like I forget. Like is he just
so
like a
from what I
spy or
remembered,
something? Or
I thought he was a detective, but he's actually a writer trying to get a story the whole time.
oh
So
wow, okay.
yeah, so like he's a writer. He's trying to get something for his column. So he's impersonating a druggie on the beach. And then randomly, this guy decides to call him over, and he gives him like an offer with a large hump of money to kill this guy. He wants he wants Fletch to kill this guy. His nickname's Fletch, hence the name of the movie. But he
Mm.
wants to kill this guy. Um, so this guy is already kind of like a sleuth at heart. So like he's gonna dive in. He's like, why the hell does this guy want me to kill him? Like there's got to be something more to this, and
Oh yeah,
that's what the movie's about.
it's a good concept. That's funny. I feel like you could do a modern take on it, like with like a social media side to it, but I
Probably
don't know.
this one's done well. It's got great '80s music in it. Like that was part of the part I enjoyed or the most of it. God, I'm having a hard time speak because we've been talking for 2.5
I
hours. So
know
I'm sorry.
it's holy
Um,
hell.
but I'm just
It's a
saying,
lot.
I liked the music. It was cool. It had that scythe vibe that like do 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 do
Yeah, no, yeah,
like
that's
I'm
good.
like let's go. Um,
Yeah,
and then Chevy Chase, boom,
boom,
he's good.
boom, boom,
It's
boom.
honestly my favorite movie is aside from Christmas Vacation. Like I
What are we
think this
rating
one's
it?
better. Uh, like if you're like not like on a like this
Comedy
is the
scale.
best movie. Yeah, it's
Comedy
comedy
scale.
scale. Still give it like a 4. Like it's just fun. It's just a fun one.
What's like Tommy Boy? What's like your 5 out of 5 comedy?
Tommy Boy's up there. I can't think of can't think of comedies off the top of my head right now.
Like Will Ferrell or something like Step Brothers or
Oh, the other guys
the
is
other
definitely
guys.
above this, but it's
Okay,
Fletch is
but it's a
just
good
like
80s like comedy.
yeah, it's a good like switch up where you're just like, oh, I forgot how funny this was actually.
Yeah,
He's
sweet.
got some good moments. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, Jake, I appreciate you doing this. I know it was a long time. I know you probably got school tomorrow.
Well, I'm just an
or
hour
something.
ahead over here, so I get the short end of the
Ooh.
stick. So it's a little brutal.
Ooh.
I don't get to
Ooh.
watch my movie tonight.
I mean, it's
because of
only
you.
it's
okay.
only 9:30. It's all right.
It's
for me.
10:30
It's
for me.
all right, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Started at 8. All right. Yeah, thanks for watching all the way through if you made it this far. And we're going to get out of your hair because we got nothing else to talk about. So,
Yeah, appreciate
see
you
you next
guys. Thanks for listening. And Jake's gonna dip out here.
yeah, I'm going to leave you alone real quick to have
Alright.
an awkward silence trying to figure this out. Okay, see you.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for clicking on this, and hope you have a great rest of the night. I know that was a long one, but thanks for sticking around. Eric, you're the homie for sticking around here. I bet Aaron's in here too. Appreciate you. Thank you guys. We had a lot of people popping in, so that was fun. And we'll keep doing it. Appreciate you guys. See you.